I'm the most underrated, most hated, greatest of all time. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome. Oh, I can't even do it. Hello and welcome back to the show. As always, I am the most underrated podcast host in Britain in the past 5 years. I am, at least. Today, I am joined by the delectably underestimated Candy Machine.
Hello.
The universally disparaged Gadget.
Oi.
The superbly underachieving Stig.
Underachieving cheeky bastard.
And the surprisingly undercompensating Biggie.
Okay, hello.
Just get over that Patreon shite. Come on, do it.
Hang on. No. Let's stop here. Oodles, go to bed. We'll do it without you. You're in no fit state to do this.
No, I am. Right, Stig. On with the patron stuff.
Yeah, just leave all that in, Gadget, please.
Fine. Okay.
Let's have some context of what's going on. Someone's very, very hungover.
Someone hasn't been to bed.
I wonder if you can guess who it is.
It's Biggie.
No, it's certainly not Biggie.
Nope.
And it's certainly not Candy. And it's definitely not Stig.
No.
Potentially not me. Who's left?
Just get on with it.
Right. If you want more of this top quality content, you can go to patreon.com/Modern Escapism. On there, you will find the 3 tiers that we do. The first one is Modern Escapees, £5 a month. That will get you an extended edition of this episode and every weekly episode. And you will get at least one monthly special and any other specials that we do. If you are into Dungeons and Dragons, we also do a D&D play podcast called Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep? And for £5 a month, you can get the Scorched Sheep tier, and that will get you ad-free early access to the show, all artwork Candy produces for it, any battle maps Gadget does for it, any original music, character sheets, anything that we create for the show, you'll get access to, and you'll also be able to suggest NPCs and items for Gadget to use in the campaign. And if you're feeling flush, go Biggie or go home, you can select the Biggie bundle for £7.50, and that gets you everything.
Or pay £10 and you can listen to Oodles keeping the recording device on at all times, especially when he's out drinking, and you can hear the lot.
No, man.
Sign me up.
That's the special New Game Plus version.
Yeah.
At least the Oodles haters like this episode because I'm going to be quite quiet.
There's no Oodles haters, mate.
There's one or two.
Yes, there is. We just don't talk about it.
So, let's do what we always do. Let's just crack on. You guys talk for about half an hour so I can have a look. Well, I'm not joking. I'm not going to sleep. But, Gadget, what have you been up to this week?
So a couple of things. I've been continuing on with Persona 5. As I guess I'm now into the second palace. It's making less sense than it did before. But
It does.
I've just unlocked Yusuke character. Yeah. He's canny.
Yeah, I like it.
Bit of a morose goth type.
He gets even better as it goes on.
Yeah. Morgana is still fucking annoying.
Oh, shite, man.
What is it with JRPGs and annoying animal sidekicks?
I don't know.
Because
It's
Monster
a trope.
Hunter Stories 2 had it.
Just a weird trope that they all love. I think it's
He
for
would be
Teddy's.
right if they cut back half of his dialogue and everything. You know, it's just
Yeah, it's
too much.
every time you're in a fight and it's just like one of your characters will take like a heavy hit. And it's just like, oh, okay, shit, I've lost a lot of health there. And then Morgana will go, heal them quickly. It's like, I know!
She'll say stuff like, "You're so beautiful, Panther," or whatever she's called.
Oh, yeah, fucking simping for
it's
Anne is
weird.
ridiculous in it.
Weird.
But yeah, I'm still enjoying the game despite me complaining about it. I don't really enjoy the school stuff so much. I didn't realize I had to take tests in it.
Yeah.
They ask you questions. You have exams.
Yeah.
I
God.
panic.
Or
What's the
you
point
can
in
Google
that?
the answers.
Well, yeah, that's why I googled the answers. But yeah, well, because the whole living through as a teenager in high school, you go to classes and like you'll get maybe like asked 3 questions a week by the teachers, and then those same questions come up on the test, but they're like proper like talk you down if you get them wrong. But the questions that they ask you is like, this is a concept brought up by some Japanese philosopher in the 4th century. What was his name? Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know?
He's not wrong. And if you get
Just
it
say
right, you get
Kojima every
stat
time.
ups as well, don't you? You level up and
Well,
stuff.
yeah, that's it. If you get the questions right, you like your
It's
knowledge
free
stat
grinding,
goes
isn't
up.
it?
Yeah, but if you don't get them right, you can't get that knowledge.
No.
You don't get that opportunity back.
Exactly.
And like doing the exams doesn't give you a knowledge boost or anything like that. So it gets really fucking annoying. But I like the what is it called? Mementos, the roguelike bit where it's a bit like the Chalice Dungeons in Bloodborne, where it's just
you get a van.
a van made out of a cat.
Cat van.
Yes, yeah, and they do make a cat bus joke
Yes.
when
I was gonna say,
when you first started up.
Totoro, yeah.
Yeah, literally one of the characters says, "Why are all cats like made like buses?" Something stupid like that. It's clearly a joke that's probably funnier in Japanese. But yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. It's a very interesting game.
Very long, isn't it?
I mean, I'm like 15 hours in now.
I'm
on
like
the
20
second
hours
level.
where you are. So I was taking even longer.
Something like 15, 16 hours, something like that. Either way, I'm in the second level.
Yeah. So fucking long. It's a 150-hour game.
Ugh. The main thing I want to talk about, though, is Pip and I. Well, we're children of the 90s, you know, and we remember a certain TV show from the 90s that, of course, the Americans have taken over and done their own thing. We've been watching Battlebots.
What's Battlebots?
Which is the American Robot Wars.
Oh.
Wow.
It's exactly the same setup. Big Perspex box. Homemade robots knocking the shit out of each other, but because they're Americans, they turn it up to 20.
Have they got a
like
big...
a big
they
mobile
got guns
home
on
or
them.
something.
yeah, I was about to say, they've got guns.
They're flamethrowers. Like compressed air flamethrowers. They're fucking ridiculous. These things are really fucking dangerous. They do things like they have... The main host is not Craig Charles or anyone like that. It's pretty generic blonde number 4.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, they have, and then she gets swapped out for pretty generic blonde number 10 in the second season because clearly the first blonde wasn't pretty enough.
She reached 21.
Yeah, seems that way. You've got 2 commentators doing it in the traditional sports style. So you've got one guy called Chris who is a traditional commentator, and then you've got Kenny Florian from the UFC.
No way.
Yes,
Random.
Yeah, and I remember seeing him fight years ago. I never realized how much he sounds like Rob McElhenney when he speaks. It sounds exactly like a carbon copy of him. And then you've got Farouk. Oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. Shit, that's going to bother me. Farouk Tahid, who is the ring announcer. He just stands up there and goes, "It's robot fighting time." and we'll drop some horrendous puns introducing each robot. Yeah, they're American. They take it to the next level.
It's loud.
Insane. In season 2, so there's 2 seasons on Netflix, the 2015 season and the 2016 season. In the 2016 season, they allow drones, remote control drones, which, as to this point, have been utterly pointless.
With Uzis on them.
Well, so there's one, I can't remember which bot it was on, but the drone was it was designed so you had the main bot and then you had a drone alongside it, and the idea was the main bot would like kind of clamp onto the opponent, the drone would land on top and drill into the top of it. It had a small pillar drill in it. That got smashed within 8 seconds.
Drones don't like to touch things, do they?
No,
At all.
They also allow cluster bots, so you can have like your main robot, and then you can have a couple of little like botherer bots around, as long as the totality of however many robots you've got is not over 250 kilograms. It's really funny. So there's one contestant in season 2 who's from the UK. She went over with these it was called Bug Swarm or something like that, and it was five robots.
Oh, nice.
Which again all lasted about 10 seconds because for the weight limit they had to be under 50 kilograms, so they all had to be really light. They got just destroyed immediately. The main one that we enjoyed watching in the first season was Tombstone, which is, do you remember in the UK Robot Wars we had Hypnodisc?
Yeah.
And its thing was it was a very simple robot. All it had was a really big, heavy disc on the front, and it destroyed things. So this takes the American idea, basically the same shape-ish robot, but instead of a spinning disc, it's got imagine a lawnmower blade, but 1.5 inches thick.
Ooh.
Jesus.
So I think the blade itself weighed about 20 kilograms. And when that thing got up to speed, literally the first robot it fought against just rammed into it and took it apart instantly. And these people have spent thousands on these robots, then travelled halfway across America to come over and get demolished in 10 seconds. It's fucking hilarious.
So they have lots of people in the audience holding big signs and foamy hands everywhere. And
There's one. I should have researched some of the names of these robots because they're ridiculous. But one, their whole thing is patriotism. So they walk out, the robot's on the trolley, and it's got an American flag coming off the top of it, and they push it into the arena, stand with their hands on their hearts, and kind of salute the flag, and the audience goes USA.
They're really proud of their country, aren't they?
Probably called the Patriobot or something.
Yeah, but don't the schools do that? The song in the morning or something.
Yeah,
the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah,
it's not.
Grow up, America.
It's not Circular Lot, though, is it? An actual Knight of the Round Table.
Matilda.
That's the thing. They don't have house robots, which is slightly disappointing because you would think the Americans would. I don't know. They'd have something in there with a fucking 9mm on it or something. The arena traps aren't as good as in Robot Wars. Like, there's no pit, for instance.
Oh.
Nothing to knock people into. It's just got a few circular saw blades that come out and a few spikes, and then these kind of grinding corkscrews on the side. But yeah, some of the robots are ridiculously overpowered. They're so funny to watch. Some of the ones they really like with the UK Robot Wars. They did limit a lot of stuff, for health and safety purposes. Not so much with the Americans. they have these ridiculous flipper bots that have so much power. Like, they showed hurling fucking lead weights around. Just gets on. There's one of them gets under the robot and just launches it 15 foot in the air. Like, they're so overpowered, it's unreal.
I just have this image of, you know how in hockey, if the puck gets smashed over the top of the glass and people in the crowd yeah, I've got the puck. Just like people, like kids in the crowd with bits of metal that come off the robots be like, yeah!
Just slapping out their head or something.
So, because it's like the kind of the bulletproof glass Perspex box, there's one moment where one of the robots takes a hit from, I think it might actually be Tombstone, another one, at least one of these kind of ridiculously powerful spinning robots, and it tears something off at such a pace that it embeds into the bulletproof glass in front of the two commentators.
Jesus
It's just like, okay, you need to limit this, lads. It's a bit much, but it's fucking hilarious. It's worth watching. It's so over the top, so overdone. And the only thing that lets it down is there's no Philippa Forrester.
Talented and beautiful.
Yes, exceeding.
Wait till somebody in the crowd dies from something happening over the side or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it got quite a while, though, wasn't it? I think mid-2000s by the looks of it. So
it had a number of seasons, then it came off, and then it came back in 2015.
Okay.
So if you look it up on Wikipedia, it says it had 10 seasons, but I think it had 5 seasons and then stopped for a few years, and then it's had another 5 on top of that. It ran from 2000 till 2002, and then from 2015 onwards.
Like I was saying, they had a bit of a nostalgia reboot, didn't they?
Yeah. It's so worth watching. It's so stupid. It's so brilliant. And it's, like I say, it's just Robot Wars turned up to 11. It's the same format. It's the same kind of group stages knockout format.
The worrying thing is now if other countries are doing it, when Japan get involved, they're going to be mechs, aren't they?
They're going to be Gundams.
Yeah. That's incredible, isn't it?
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Imagine if it get to this thing and Boston Dynamics just send in one of their robots. It's just like a real life robot just picking them up and throwing them around.
Versus that Asimov or whatever it's called. And he just gets destroyed and decapitated. Poor Asimov, no!
I'll send you the clip of the robot fails that I got sent the other day.
They're brilliant. Seen loads of them.
Yeah. I will love that, but watch Battlebots. It's stupid fun.
We will. Right. I'm just going to go on the order that I can see. It's me now. So, I'm I've had a busy week. As you can already tell, I've been out, but I'm not going to discuss my actions.
No. I think we should discuss your actions because the audience has come to this podcast for jovial entertainment, and our host sounds like he's dying.
Okay, well, I'm not.
Literally and figuratively.
Excuse me. I just didn't get in till 6:30 this morning, and I haven't slept. So that's it, really. There's no massive stories to tell
that you know of yet.
Yeah, there is that. But this week...
Are you going to be banned from any more pubs?
No. Well, it's a town I don't live in, we went to, so I don't care.
Ah, that's why you went there.
No. But yeah, I this week I've been catching back up with my Walking Dead. I'm on season 9 now, and I think it's one of the best seasons I've seen so far. I don't know if anyone else can remember season 9, or even if you got that far.
I didn't.
But this shit, it's gone scary again. Like the last episode I watched today... and I don't know what happens past it, but, mate, the fucking zombies are talking to each other.
Oh, I know that.
I have shitted myself.
Okay.
They're chatting. They're chatting to each other, and it's proper scary. And there's been, I'm sorry for spoiler alerts, but there's been a massive, time jump, like a 5-year time jump.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild. Everyone's older.
Why'd they do that?
I don't know.
Probably just... They
just have.
Just so they didn't have a fucking baby.
Probably.
Like little kid. It was just easier
people were having babies left, right, centre.
Easier to make them grown up.
Maybe. But I think this season's really strong so far. It's gone back to being a little bit scary. Like the first season, because I think the first season's probably its best season so far.
Well, the first season managed to have its scares. One, because it was short; it was only 7 episodes.
Oh yeah.
But there was so much about everything that the characters didn't know about because the zombie thing was new to all
and we
the
got
characters.
Them first few episodes where it's just Rick and when he meets up with Morgan and that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of being scared on your own. But this season 9 now, all the groups they're all intertwined into their own little communities. Barely any of them are mates anymore. They're not enemies, but they're not mates. And now the zombies are fucking talking. So I am shitting myself. This is scary shit. It's back.
Does it sound somewhat like how you sound now?
Yeah, worse. They're like they're over there. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's proper scary. But that's not the main.
Where you're at. Okay.
I know where you're at.
Oh, it's both so scary.
Only because I just looked it all up after
I've read the comic. They're following the comic quite well. So.
Oh, it's so scary. But the main thing I want to talk about is a game I have been playing, a computer game. Gadget, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. It's called Eldest Souls.
Right.
Oh.
I've heard of this.
Oh, I've got it on the Xbox. Bought this with my own money. Fancy that.
Didn't even go to Argentina for it.
Nope. Real.
He's barred from there as well.
No. I've kept that economy going, pal. No. Cash money. Well, not cash money, but got it on my credit card. Basically, it's a fast-paced...
Look at that art style. I'll just Google it.
It's a fast-paced and brutally challenging boss rush Souls-like. Ooh.
Stop. I can only get so erect.
I know. So, basically, it's developed by a developer called Fallen Flag Studio. I don't really know him. I don't think I've ever heard of it. I don't know if it's the first game or whatever, but it's available on Switch, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, everything that you want. It's just like, so do you know how a lot of people play your Souls games, Dark Souls and Bloodborne and stuff like that, and a lot of people play it for these big spectacle bosses, don't they? And a lot of people struggle with the orientation of getting around, like you know, Biggie, you can get lost in Dark Souls, can't you? Imagine not needing to get lost and just going to the big spectacles one after the other. That's what this is. So
it's the look of it reminds me a lot of Titan Souls, if you remember that.
Yeah. It's a bit more. The graphics are a little bit better, but similar to Titan Souls because that was like a boss rush, weren't it?
Yeah,
so
it was. Yeah,
there is exploration between the bosses, but it's not. You don't fight any baddies between the bosses, so there's a lot of exploration and lore building and stuff like. There's a proper deep lore and stuff like that. It's the combat, the variety of it. I've only got one weapon so far, but I'm by the looks of the skill trees and stuff, there's like 3 main skill trees. So you can be like a fast-paced rogue, or you can be a big bruiser, or you can be like more or less magic. You know, your typical ones that you can choose from. But the beauty of it is, if you're not liking what you are, you can just respec anytime.
Nice.
Just being like, fuck it, this is not working. Now, there's 10 bosses in this game. I've been playing this game for, let me look, 15 hours. I am on boss number 2.
Oh.
I have died 262 times. It is fucking hard. Really hard. However, Gadget, think back to Demon Souls. You know, when you beat that really tough boss for the first time and you got them that like, chilled out back of your spine and goosebumps and that, imagine that.
Ooh.
Again. You can't play Dark Souls now with a challenge, can you?
No.
Do it with your eyes closed. This
Exactly.
it'll quench that hunger that you want for it, that thirst. It's really cheap. I think I got it for like 16 quid or something like that. It's so satisfying. If you're interested in a Souls game but you don't want to get lost in, as in, because you can't. It's pretty linear, but the world's fantastic. As you said, the art style's beautiful, but the bosses, because they've put all their thoughts into the bosses. The first boss is like a tutorial boss. It doesn't even really count as a boss. You will win it. You know what I mean? And you think,
it's your asylum demon.
Yeah, you think, fucking hell, this is easy. I'm going to smash this game. Your proper first boss, it took me 105 attempts. But when you die, you don't lose anything. It just says, do you want to try it again? And you smack bang next to that boss instantly. Bang. So it doesn't feel like you're waiting, like, you died. Do you know what I mean? And you got to wait for a loading screen. It's just like, bang, bang, bang. So you can do 10 attempts in a minute.
Right.
Just
okay.
Boof, 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 boof.
That's good, because when I see Biggie playing, like,
so annoying, isn't it?
trying to take down Ornstein and Smough, is that it?
Yeah.
He's got to run through like 3 enemies that are chasing him just to get there, and it's that initial run back is like one of the things that's probably most annoying about it. It's like I've constantly got to run through them again.
Sometimes you fight them, sometimes you just run through, and you just like.
Sometimes they get you and kill you, and you're like, "Fuck's sake!"
Yeah,
like,
it's proper annoying. And the enemies in Dark Souls are tough, but there's no normal enemies in this. And the thing is, like, you can instantly restart and fight that boss again. Or if you pick not to restart, you come back to the bonfire, inverted commas, and you can respec and you can do what you want. And it's just really fucking fast. It's fluid. It just feels good. And you'll like this as well, Gadget. It's got the Bloodborne mechanic of that's how you heal. You be vicious.
Ooh, I did like that about Bloodborne.
Yeah.
That was a very fun feature in Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And something I would have liked in Sekiro.
Yeah.
Would have made my time with Sekiro a lot better if I could have done
Absolutely. There's no shields in this game, so it wants you to be like vicious and just constantly on it.
Is this a new game?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, July.
that. Yeah.
A lot of people don't seem to be talking about it then.
No, it's because it's everyone's sick of hearing these. Oh, it's another Souls.
Souls-like.
There's so many shit ones. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Would you say
This is not one of the
Would you
shit
say
ones.
it's underrated, Oodles?
I'd say it's very underrated. Yeah, I would.
It's. I'm looking at it on the Steam page right now. It's got very positive reviews, but it's only 895 reviews.
That's one review. They've died 895 times.
I think someone like you, Gadget, that's more you're more fluent in Bloodborne than I am. You're a better Bloodborner than I am. I'm more Dark Souls. I think you'll get through this quicker than I would, because you just would.
You'll be happy to know I've just clicked buy.
Oh, it's incredible.
So I will make this next time I do a solo stream. When next time Stig's not available, I'll play a bit of this.
Yeah.
See what it's like.
I've also just had a look at how long to beat on Eldest Souls, and it's saying all stars is about 4 hours. So I think once you crack those bosses,
it's only 10.
You'll just scream through it.
It tells you in the blurb, it's like, there's 10 bosses. Fucking win them.
I've just seen something else as well. When I was looking at the art style of it, which does look lovely.
Yeah.
You know, Google sometimes brings up like people who search for this as well. Mm-hmm. This game's coming out in September called Tales of Iron.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that as well. Yeah.
That's described as an RPG adventure with punishingly brutal combat. So another one maybe for you to try when that comes out next month.
The thing is with Eldest Souls, like I said, I think the most deaths you get on. This might be my playstyle, but the more deaths I got on Dark Souls was from the exploration and panicking and falling off things. Gravity were a bastard on it, wasn't it? With this, because it's literally just boss. I know a lot of people that play games and they're like, I couldn't play it. I kept getting lost, and people don't like to be lost. It frustrates them.
Yeah,
You're not going to get lost on this. It's just really good set piece after really good set piece, and it's basically tiny little Bloodborne. It's incredible.
I'm gonna add that to my wish list.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm up for that.
I feel like it's
Yeah,
for
I've just
people
looked in the
that
store
want to
and
play a
removed
Dark
it from
Souls
my
game
list.
that doesn't want to
Same.
really be punished too much. But the deaths are that fast, and you're back at it. Fuck it. You know what I mean? I loved it. Every single death, I was like, I know what I did wrong then.
See, that's what I kind of like. The fact you said you're back in it. Like when I was playing something like Celeste, whenever you died, you didn't feel too bad.
And that's
because
why people love
you were
Celeste.
straight back into it. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. I recommend everyone listening and all you guys just play it. If you've always wanted to get into that kind of game, just give it a try.
That's the thing with Dark Souls, I find, though, is when, like the current bosses that I'm on now, it's like at the beginning of the stream, I'm up for it, and it might be going well, or I die a few times, then have another go and feeling like I'm nearly there.
When you lose, doesn't it?
But when you keep losing and losing, that interest just wanes at all.
Gadget's probably done this as much as I have. You think to yourself, I'm gonna have a Dark Souls run. You go, you might be playing it 5 hours. First death, you never play it again.
Yeah, no,
Can't be asked.
I've abandoned runs. It's not usually the 5 hours. It's like if I don't know, like if I'm doing Dark Souls 3 and I fuck up and I die to Gundyr, I'm just like, fine, fuck it.
Okay, I'll play something else.
First boss. Yeah.
If I'm going to die at the first boss, I'm not going to play the rest of it.
I have about a 5 death limit. If I get to a boss and I can't do it in 5, I'm like, fuck it, I can't do it. I'm not playing.
I can't do it. And the mechanics in this are just, it's not complicated. Think we all like that. What did we all play other week with the crow? With that?
Death's Door.
Yeah. It's a bit similar to that controls-wise. So if you like that, you'll like this. Obviously, it's not free like Death's Door was. But just fucking play it. Yeah.
I shall.
Yes. Candy, what have you been up to?
2 things, as always. So I watched The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf, the anime. Did anyone else see it?
I know of it.
I've not watched it yet.
It's
Not yet.
really...
I've seen Reddit complaining about it.
Oh, how are they? I haven't seen
it's
any
probably
Reddit
gonna be good
complaints.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it, and I don't always enjoy as you know, I don't always enjoy prequels, but I don't always enjoy a lot of animes as well. But this one, it ties in so seamlessly with the current Witcher TV show, and that it's written by the same person. It's the same showrunner who's
It's based
Lauren.
on the books, then, yeah.
I don't think it is. I think this is. So when I say the writer, it's the same TV writer.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this is a completely. This is pre the books, I think.
Yeah,
so
it will
follows,
be. It's about Vesemir, isn't it?
Yeah, when
yeah,
he's
way
so
before.
it's his very early history. Until now, we've only seen him as like an elder Witcher, I think. I haven't actually read the books, but as far as I know, we only know him.
Yeah.
certainly in the games
You only
and
see
stuff as an
Vesemir
elder
in the
Witcher.
books as
Like
you only see
300
Vesemir
years
as an
old,
man.
something like that.
Yeah, so this is
Oh, my age.
explores his young life and how he becomes a Witcher, and how it sort of explores how he becomes the unwitting leader of a debilitated sort of Kaer Morhen.
Kaer Morhen, yeah.
Morhen, yes. It's been done by a Korean animation studio called Studio Mir, and I had a look at what else they've been.
Castlevania, wasn't it?
I don't think it's Castlevania. It's Dota, Dragon's Blood. I recognise the Boondocks and Mortal Kombat: Scorpion's Revenge.
It does look like the Castlevania anime, though, from the trailer.
I wonder if it is. If it was,
It
I
might not
didn't
be.
see
It just
it.
looks like it.
But it's really good. The animation's really good. It looks really beautiful. And I actually saw a clip on Twitter earlier that Lauren Hisrick had posted, and she was saying that there's things that she was convinced to do in an anime rather than a TV show because there's so much more scope to do these huge battles, and they really do take advantage of that. There's just monsters on monsters on monsters on monsters, and it's just incredible. You understand just how powerful Vesemir is as well. If you are a fan of the TV series, I think you really do need to watch it because it's setting up. I think it's setting up the second season of the Witcher TV show, and it's almost definitely setting up there's going to be a prequel live action, isn't there?
Yes,
so
there is. Yeah,
Blood Origin. So it's almost certainly setting that up. I ended up watching it twice.
Wow.
Just because of the final line in the film. The final line, I was like, wait a minute, you have to go back and kind of rewatch everything and pay more attention.
Isn't the new Witcher TV show coming out fairly soon?
December.
Yeah.
So the one with Geralt in it is December. The prequel live action, I'm not actually sure.
I think it's May next year, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know it's
prequel
going to be
live
running
action
alongside it.
is middle of next year.
Mm.
Witcher season 2 is 17th
That
of December,
that were
which
wrapped
is also
last year,
Spider-Man
wasn't
Day.
it? Is it?
No. Because of the pandemic, it only wrapped a few months ago.
Shit.
It's
Scheduled.
If you,
but...
if you go back to it, it's been dogged by problem after problem. That started shooting February 2020.
Wow.
Obviously, naturally got shut down pretty quickly. Then came back when they moved the production from Europe to the UK.
Yeah.
When stuff started opening up here last summer, got all the pre-production done, got set up, shot for several days. Then someone got COVID on the production, so had to be shut down again. And it's just been like that all the way through. And then like earlier this year, like Henry Cavill, I think he fell off a horse or something like that and injured his shoulder and stuff. And
that's why there was an earthquake when he fell off a horse.
It's been an absolutely cursed production.
Do you know what's really great though? I was just thinking, like, that's coming out, and obviously we've had this animation specials. Like, so much nerdy shit is getting turned into like top quality TV shows.
Yeah,
so good.
Taking
like,
over, mate.
Next year, there's like Lord of the Rings, and if you're into it, Wheel of Time, and all that's coming out and stuff.
Well, I think The Witch has really opened the door for a lot of things, and I think that because there's a Fallout TV show coming out as well, and we've actually just recently had a little. That's right, yeah. And I think that is because of The Witcher as well, because it has done so well. Off the bat, it did really well.
There's rumours of the Neverending Story show on Netflix as well, isn't there?
Yep.
They've acquired some rights to it. I don't know what it is. It might be the films, but people are speculating it might be a show.
Yeah. Netflix just dropped an anime of Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Which
to be fair,
apparently isn't
Netflix just
terrible.
throw money at anything though, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if it sticks.
Yep. I also watched a film called Jolt. Jolt. This is a film starring Kate Beckinsale, who she...
Oh, yes.
Talented and beautiful.
Oh my gosh, she's stunning. Oh, it's just not fair. Oh, the cow.
And she's like,
The woman doesn't age. I'd say the woman doesn't age. She looks the same as she did in Underworld.
Yeah. Oh,
well,
Underworld.
I've got a point about that, but I'll come to that later. So she's a character who struggles with like an explosive anger management problem, much like myself. When she loses her, much like she has. So when she loses her temper, she has a sort of a surge of adrenaline that gives her almost superhuman
Does she turn
powers.
green?
She doesn't know, unfortunately. Be good though, wouldn't it? So to manage her condition, she's got this device that's kind of wired up, stuck to her body, this, that, and the other, and she's got she carries this button that's attached to a bracelet in her hand. So every time she starts to feel herself like getting riled up, losing control, she shocks herself, and she kind of comes back.
Stupid.
Is that readily available for most women?
Need it. Oh, very.
We're going to get death threats.
No, I could do with that.
Is this like the inverse of Crank?
Yeah.
I was about to say, it reminds me
Yeah,
of...
kind
Sounds
of.
like a dog collar shock, like one of those shockers.
It does.
Hashtag feminism.
Sorry, all women
Take
everywhere.
off your bras and burn them, baby.
So on the face of it, anyway, this film, it seems really shite, and actually in some ways it
does
is.
seem
But
really
it's so much fun. I really enjoyed it. It is completely self-aware, and it doesn't really take itself seriously in the slightest. The script is a little bit dodgy in places, and when you said earlier it's like Kate Beckinsale doesn't age, I kind of feel like the script was written before Kate got the role, and it wasn't really doctored to better suit her once she got it. It's some of the lines would be, I would say, kind of better suited to a 20-year-old sort of little shit, really. So it could have done with a little bit of tweaking here and there.
She say stuff like PMSL, motherfucker.
Yeah, almost
like internet speak.
like a sort of a young smart ass, like they did with Dante when they did the one where he was younger. But yeah, no, the cast is surprisingly good. So alongside Kate Beckinsale, you've got Stanley Tucci, Susan Sarandon, and Laverne Cox, who can take a fucking punch. And she does frequently in this film. It's got David Bradley, who's Filch from the Harry Potter films, and Jai Courtney. It's Jai Courtney, isn't it?
Jai Courtney.
It's Jai. So Captain Boomerang. And I think the budget was probably spent entirely on the cast because the entire thing's filmed on this very obvious soundstage. All of the outside scenes take place with, I think, like one crossroad. But yeah, no, it is fun. It's a very obvious setup for a sequel as well. Whether that will happen or not, I don't know.
What's it on this?
Amazon, I think. Amazon Prime.
Fantastic.
So yeah, worth a go. Just don't go into it expecting
Biggie,
something
if you want to
serious.
watch it, if you just go to the search bar and type in Jolt, you'll find it.
Oh, there's one scene as well, and I won't ruin it, but you'll know exactly what it is. I had an absolute sort of laugh out loud moment. I was screaming, and it wasn't just because I was drunk. And if you watch it, you'll know exactly what it is. So please let me know if you do.
After what? This sounds like a 3 beer minimum, though.
Oh, God.
Oh, absolutely.
Does it?
Guaranteed.
Maybe
And a couple of Red Bulls as well.
Ooh. Or you just get some dragon soup and you've done it all in one. Perfect.
I took up heroin for the Fast and Furious movies.
You need it. You need it. Right. Speaking of heroin, Biggie, what you been up to?
Yeah, just a couple of things for me. It's not an awful lot, to be honest. Started watching Border Town. It's a Finnish crime drama.
Oh.
It's no different to sort of all your other crime dramas. It's all the same kind of thing, but it's enjoyable enough.
Has there been a murder?
Yeah, with the main lead of the special crime unit, he helps to solve the murders using kind of like a memory tool to compartmentalize evidence that is presented to him, and then he kind of waits until it all links in his
Like
head.
Sherlock Holmes can do just in his house, in his flat.
It's obviously trying to find something different, isn't it? He suffers from insomnia because of the stress of the job and things he's seen, and it affects his family life. It's not doing anything particularly different, although it's trying
very
to.
Will Graham, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. It's fine. I've only seen the first few episodes of it, but it's captured my interest, so I'm going to continue to watch it. And on a bleak note, I ended up playing The Last of Us 2. But I'm early days in that.
Is it your first time?
Yes, I've not played this one.
Stressful, isn't it?
The original. But, well, no, actually, at this point, no, because I'm still technically going through the tutorial at this point. So
it's still popping up with things like, this is how you hug walls, that kind of
Still
thing.
on the tower.
Yeah, I've got to the bit where you ride with Dina and the horses.
Oh,
and
God.
go to the, so it's very early on, mate. But I understand that it gets very bleak. But I'm kind of
So if
impressed
your
so far.
current media intake is Fast and Furious films, Finnish crime dramas, and The Last of Us 2, you're going to be ready to jump in the sea next week.
Yeah, you need to go to therapy.
Hence why I'm playing Divinity Original Sin, just to sort of balance it all.
Yeah, that's a fun time. It's always a fun time.
But the other thing I did do was go on a trip, like the first time I've been proper out, like anywhere other than my own town, was Kew Gardens.
What's that?
One up into London. Just a beautiful day. So it's a huge. I don't know if you call it a national trust park. I don't know what you would call it. Really, it's just a beautiful walk through. Very
pretty flowers and
well
stuff.
looked after flowers. There's a huge thing called the Hive, which is man-made, but it kind of once you go.
Isn't that from Resident Evil? The Hive.
Not quite, but there's like this man-made monument which is very impressive. It gives you the kind of like the droning sound of bees, but it's very relaxing when you go inside that. There's a big greenhouse area there where they're looking after flowers. It's just a really nice walk through. Little one, there's a little play area for her, and then from there we went into Covent Garden and had my mind blown and how busy London is at this point. With the
They don't
pandemic
care
going
anymore,
on.
do they?
No.
They do not care.
It was interesting. We went to Chinatown for a meal. It was just, it almost felt like life had gone back to normal in its own weird way.
I get that.
But yeah, it was mega busy. I was really surprised. Compared to my own town or going into Brighton or something like that, I was really surprised just how busy the West End was.
Did you wear your exclusive Modern Escapism mask?
I have been wearing it out and about.
So have I.
And I've been recognised as well.
What?
By my own mirror, unfortunately.
Oh.
I haven't, not one person has said anything
I thought
to me
the
yet,
paparazzi had finally caught up with you. Biggie, look up here.
It will come. But yeah, it was just interesting being out and about with the family. The first time we felt to actually go out.
Yeah, good for the soul.
Yeah, that's it really. Yeah, it was a nice breath of fresh air technically.
Excellent. Stig, what you been doing, buddy?
I've also been out and out all week because I've been on holiday. So went to a theme park, a zoo, safari, Warwick Castle. Just
someone's earning.
Yeah, and
He probably spent less than you did in Doncaster last night.
Oh mate, spent 200 quid.
to be fair, it was all
Patreon money.
No,
it was all money that we had a holiday booked and it got cancelled, so we just used it for this. But it was really good. I mean, the Warwick Castle, woke up in the morning and the girls were like, I don't really want to go to the castle. I was like, no, I want to go to the castle. We're going to go. And we got there and it was, they loved it straight away. They were like running inside the castle. Let's go in here. Let's walk around here. They were loving walking throughout the old, like the living room and living.
Could you go on like the ramparts and everything and up top?
Yeah. We went up there and up to the top, right to the top. And then we watched
Did you shout like Stigveld as well at one point? Please tell me you did.
No, I did, though, because the girls bought some wooden shields and swords. So I was running around, messing around, going, huzzah!
The famous Stigveld quote there.
and then rolling the dice and missing.
Yeah.
They do D&D weekends in Warwick Castle, don't they? They do that.
They do?
D&D Newcastle.
Comic Relief had that competition for us.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good day out. They did they had what are they called? When the horses run at each other with a
Jousting.
They had a big jousting thing set around the War of the Roses, so it was all a big show about this happened, and then it was
and
like
which side were you on?
Of course, I was on the Yorkshire side, the White Rose. I was giving it the big one for the White Rose. There's obviously a few Lancastrians on our side, though, because when we went to cheer it, you could just hear a few people going, boo.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah. And I was like, but I know how this ends, and we lose.
Yeah, I know. We've been losing ever since.
But it was great. Like, and honestly, Amelia, like, she was like on my back so she could see over the top. And she, like, when she, like, about halfway through, she just went, oh, this is amazing. They really enjoyed it in the end. I was like, see, it was worth going there instead of the other thing we were going to do. But yeah, it was really good. But because I've been away, the only thing that I've done is when everyone had gone to bed one night, I watched Boss Level.
Boss Level?
Boss Level. So Boss Level is a film on Amazon Prime. It stars Frank Grillo, Mel Gibson, Naomi Watts, Ken Jeong, and Michelle Yeoh.
She watched that.
Yeah,
I've seen this advertised, yeah.
It's about a retired special forces officer who's trapped in a never-ending loop on the day of his death, during which various assassins are trying to track him across the city to kill him. It's really good fun. Like,
yeah, she liked it.
It's pretty much what you expect and that what you get. Like, so it starts off with Grillo's character Roy. He's in the midst of his many deaths. When we was first introduced to him, he's on day 78. So we don't see him at the start when he doesn't know what's going on.
Remind me who he is. Frank Grillo.
Frank Grillo is the guy who plays Crossbones in MCU.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
55 years old. He looks fucking incredible.
He looks mint in Winter Soldier at Rumble, isn't it?
That opening scene when he's got his top off, I'm like, you fucking bastard. He's just like muscles on muscles on muscles.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he starts at day 78 as an assassin in his apartment, and unfortunately for the assassin, he knows every move. So it's very much like, in Groundhog Day, where Bill Murray memorizes the security guard's movements.
To try and chat that woman up as well.
So he can steal the money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's very much like that. So the movie starts, the guy swings a sword to him, he just kind of ducks his head this way, moves that way, stabs the guy. Then he starts getting shot by a gun, but he knows where to move and where to walk to avoid the gunshots and everything like that. So
I like the sound of this.
Yeah, we start from the get-go of things, and it then quickly moves into a lot of trial and error. So we see he starts talking about, he jumps out. This is all right, literally in the first 5 minutes. He jumps out of a window into a truck coming below, and he's kind of like, "Do you know what it feels like to miss this truck? It fucking hurts." And it shows various ones where he's missing the truck and getting run over by it and just splatting on the pavement and stuff. So it's very gruesome, very full of action and stuff. But it's a bit like a computer game. It tries to play itself off as a bit computer gamey. Like the opening credits, it's like player one, pick Frank Grillo, and has kind of 16-bit graphics and stuff. But that's kind of the only real computer game thing to it. I've seen people say, "Oh, this is how you do a computer game, like good in a film. You don't base it on a computer game. You make something that's based around computer games." But
yeah, the essence of a computer game,
the only
rather than
thing that's really computer gamey is the trial and error. Like
and the name.
The assassins are like bosses. He has to defeat and figure out how to not get killed by them. So he knows if I do
just
this,
the premise for Deathloop.
Yeah,
potentially, yeah. He's basically like, if I do this at this point, I know that rocket launch is going to miss. Do you know what I mean? Like he's figured out the way where he needs to be, at what point he needs to like turn the car around. So when they're chasing him, he goes that way and they fuck off, and and until he gets to a point where he's never been past, and that's where it starts to get even more trial and error because he keeps getting to the same point and can't get past it. But throughout the film, we see him so he's tackling new challenges as he gets further and further. Like the more he gets, the further he gets. He starts to he has to learn new skills in order to get past certain assassins.
So he's got to grind a little bit.
Yeah, basically, yeah, he does. It's a good way.
Is this
That's a good way of putting it.
Gamers?
Ugh.
To be honest, I don't get the gaming reference. It's called Boss Level.
My wife's not a gamer, and she watched it and liked it. So
yeah, I don't get that. Like it doesn't accumulate, or it doesn't get to the end, and there's this big, huge boss fight with Mel Gibson. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
When you call the film Boss Level, and it feels like, okay, he gets to the end and he has the final showdown with Mel Gibson. Like, not to spoil it much, but that doesn't happen. They go a different way with it.
Yeah.
So he's got this bit of a subplot with him and his wife and his estranged son, which kind of grinds the film to a halt. But there's a reason for it. It kind of serves a purpose. But for that 5-10 minutes of the film, you're kind of like, this is a bit shit. Until it actually gets to the point, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. But did we need to see all that? It's just a bit.
Yeah.
It just kind of slows the film down. Yeah, unironically, you get what you expect. It was entertaining. Grillo does a good job. He's maybe a little dramatically limited for his monologues that he does throughout, but he's like quips, and his fighting and the action is really good. Naomi Watts is very bland, very forgettable.
Which is like her career, really, isn't it?
I don't really see what she's offering much in this film, to be honest. And unfortunately, Mel Gibson's really wasted too. Because
he's been terrible for 20 years.
Yeah, but he can.
He's the Oodles of movies.
No, he's done some good stuff, but he still has a charismatic on-screen presence, but they don't use it, and there's that slightly unlikable edge bubbling underneath, really, isn't there? Like, it's not just the character in the film, it's him in real life. And that serves him really well, but they just don't really lean into it. It almost feels like him and Naomi Watts weren't really needed for this film. They don't really serve what purpose you think they could do. You could have just had anyone in there. But overall, enjoyable, some fun action, great deaths, either from himself or the assassins, and the final loop of the film is really well done. Like, I really enjoyed what they did with it in the final bit. So yeah, a solid 3 out of 5 action pulpy film.
Excellent.
It's on Amazon Prime, so
you love to see it.
Yeah,
brilliant. Right, let's get on with the meat and potatoes. Biggie, what are we chatting about this week?
Yeah, this week we're going to be talking about anything that wasn't rated or valued high enough by either the critics or the general public. Talking about games, TV shows, films, albums, books, etc. All the things that are underrated and deserve much more, and everything in between and on them.
Excellent. Very simple concept to follow, this one. Again, it's quite surprised we haven't done this one already. But yeah, well, let's just start as we mean to go on. Gadget, bring it to the table, sir.
Well, I'm going to bring a game that we haven't referenced this particular one so far yet today, but we have referenced the series. I want to talk about Dark Souls 2.
Oh, baby girl. Woo.
So, Dark Souls 2 came out in 2014, much ballyhooed and hyped sequel to the classic FromSoft game that's currently pissing Biggie off immensely.
Yes.
Dark Souls 1 in itself was lauded from high heavens. It was the second coming of From Software. It was Miyazaki becoming a god amongst game developers.
The saviour of action RPGs.
Yeah. And what they delivered was a very, very tightly put together
overrated
3D Metroidvania with some impressive boss battles. A hard game, but not an unreasonable game. Ruined slightly by the marketing with the fact that on the back of the box it said "Prepare to die."
I hate that.
Namco Bandai fucked up the marketing. They made it all about, yes, this is a difficult game. Said, well, yeah, but so was Super Metroid.
Yeah,
this is just taking those concepts.
So was Super Mario World near the end.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's just a game that doesn't have an easy mode. That's all it is, unless you pick Pyromancy.
That is the easy mode. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now you tell me.
We tried to tell you.
We did.
You didn't listen.
I don't generally.
Anyway, Dark Souls was developed without the intention of a sequel. It was obviously the spiritual sequel to Demon Souls. But Miyazaki's not someone who likes to rest on his laurels. He wanted to do other things. But Namco Bandai, or Bandai Namco, or whatever variation of their name they are on this week, turned around and said, No. That's sold a lot. We want more. They Activisioned them. They wanted lightning to strike twice.
Yeah.
So From Software got to work developing Dark Souls 2. They binned off the original engine that they had. They brought a new one in.
They did the Chicken Wings Challenge to promote it?
No, that was Dark Souls 3.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Miyazaki got the project started, but then got bored and decided to start making Bloodborne for the PS4.
Makes sense.
A very good career move on his part.
I agree.
So it was handed off to what a lot of people referred to at the time as the B team. Not really the B team. It's still From Software. But I mean, it was directed by Tommy. I'm going to get these wrong, but Tomohiro Shibuya and Yui Tanimura.
Tanimura. He knows.
Both veterans of From Software, both having worked on Kingsfield and Armored Core and all this stuff in the past. Like, they're not slouches in the directorial department. So Bandai Namco start doing their hype thing with kind of trailers featuring actors in suits of armor rather than like CGI ones.
Gotta remember that.
Yeah. The tagline this time was "Go Beyond Death."
Yeah.
Which nothing in the game takes you beyond death, but okay.
Yep.
And the game drops. I buy the collector's edition because I'm an idiot.
So did
but I got a very nice big plastic statue of the Faram Knight.
Day one.
Yep. My birthday, in fact, it came out on March 14th, 2014. So I'm sat there. It's my birthday. I've got the day off.
Yeah.
You know that shot from Scott Pilgrim versus the World where he's sitting in front of the door?
Yeah. Yeah, they do drop at the beginning of the year, don't they?
Yeah. Like, well, Elden Ring's January.
Oh.
So yeah, I started playing the game. I adored it instantly.
So did I.
I started making YouTube videos. That's what I was doing at the time. And as I'm uploading my first one, I'm kind of then like looking on the reviews, and it's getting 7 out of 10s. It's getting.
It made no sense to me that.
And then I started looking. I did a bad thing. I went on GameFAQs.
Why?
I was on the forums at the time.
Oh.
And the hatred.
Oh yeah.
The hatred coming from the audience.
You're losing your health every time you die.
Yeah. Or looks like the character shit himself the way he's running.
Yeah.
Why does he roll so slow? What's a human effigy?
Oh, that I went in a coffin and now I've got long hair. Boobs.
Yes, there is a gender change coffin in the game. Surreal. Japanese game, what do you want?
Yeah.
People complaining about the state of the bosses. People complaining that all the bosses are dudes in armor. They're fucking not.
No way.
Granted, there are a few dudes in armor bosses and a couple of ones that end up recycled. You get the Dragon Rider twice. Yeah, Covetous Demon's not Covetous Demon is should be a mid-level boss, not a fucking end-of-level boss.
I love that boss, mate.
Oh, he's a fucking waste of space. It's great. You can get him to poison himself. It's hilarious.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, so like the entire fan base were kicking off because it wasn't the same as Dark Souls. And I remember being kind of quite perplexed with this because Dark Souls is not the same as Demon Souls, but everybody loved Dark Souls. And over time, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Dark Souls 2 was not a perfect game when it launched. It still had a load of bugs about it. Enemy placement was fucking weird.
Yeah.
In some places, some things didn't make sense. They ended up remixing it when it came out for the PS4 and Xbox One, which is where we get the Scholar of the First Sin edition, we got 3 sets of DLC, which were then mixed into that, and the whole game was kind of remixed. Enemy placements were adjusted, some things were rebalanced, you got some new weapons, some new items, that kind of thing.
Then it got perfect.
Yeah, then it got perfect. Like, Scholar of the First Edition is superb.
It's amazing.
The game didn't want to be Dark Souls 2, effectively. It wanted to be a new game. It didn't want to be just more Dark Souls, because Dark Souls had been done. That was Miyazaki's vision. This was a different vision, different directors, different writers. It still has a really oblique story that's actually really interesting with a lot of good lore. It's got better characters than Dark Souls 1. Granted, it doesn't have a Solaire, but you get Lucatiel.
Oh, Lucatiel of Mira.
She's amazing.
Oh, God. Be still my beating heart.
The DLCs are rock hard. Like, there were people complaining that Dark Souls 2 was too easy in places, and there are some places you can
It is too easy anyway,
level. But you get to those DLCs, it's like the game on crack. It's
hard.
so hard, but it's like a proper fucking. There is one boss in the first DLC where she summons another boss to fight you.
Nadia.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes, she does.
And then the room after her, you face a great big feckin' poison dragon.
Yeah, Singe.
You looking forward to playing this, Biggie?
wait while you get to Eliam Loyce, mate. It's Frozen.
Oh, yeah.
But
Everyone
several
loves a Frozen
people
level.
have actually said to me that I would probably like Dark Souls 2 better.
I think everyone should start on 2.
The thing is, Dark Souls 2 makes a lot more concessions to actually help the player.
Yeah.
A lot of people complained about the fact that when you die, you lose a little bit of your health, which didn't happen in Dark Souls 1. In Demon Souls, you die, you lose fucking half your health.
Yeah.
But you basically, every time you die, you lose health down to 50%.
You
and then
start
after that, you
hollowing,
don't lose
don't you?
anymore. Yeah, it's the process of hollowing. And it's a really interesting mechanic. The thing is, with the way health works in Dark Souls, it doesn't fucking matter how much your total health is. Some of these enemies take huge chunks off you anyway, so you're not going to notice it.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
And Dark Souls 2's got the best poise mechanic in the fucking series.
It's got the best poise mechanic. It's got the power stance mechanic, which is great.
Power stance.
The only mechanic thing they put in, which I hated, was they put a dump stat in called adaptability, which you need to put. You need to put souls into it, so you get your proper roll speed.
Yeah, but it's such a wasted stat.
Well, that's what I mean. It's a dump stat because like whenever I do a run of Dark Souls 2, the first thing I do is just bash that up to 20.
20. You leave it at 20.
Leave it at 20, but that's still like usually 5 to 8 levels. You've got to level it up.
Oh, it's like 10, 15,000 souls.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I think the game doesn't make a great first impression. I think that's the problem. Like, the first area you go to is Forest of Fallen Giants, which isn't amazing, but it's a nice intro area. It's colourful, and like Dark Souls is a lot of grey.
Oh god,
this one's greens and browns. It's a lovely forest. But the boss you fight is the last giant, who's just dull. He's just a big guy. You just stick to his heels.
Yeah.
But then you get the pursuer. Oh, he's fun. Proper duel with a floating knight that chases you around the map. Great stuff.
With eyes like Kit from Knight Rider.
Yeah. And you go to Hades Tower of Flame, which is fucking gorgeous.
Or if you're me, you go there first because you're an idiot.
Or you go there first because you're an idiot. And you've got these giant fucking golems to deal with who are just regular enemies.
Yeah.
And it becomes a puzzle trying to work out how to get there without losing too much health. And then you fight the Dragon Rider, who's not a hard boss, but it's a fun duel.
And over the road there's a dragon.
And over the road there's a dragon. And over the road, spoilers, you fight...
An old friend.
Yes, you fight an old friend who Biggie is intimately familiar with.
But this time he's on his own.
And that's just the first 3 areas of the game. All wildly different.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first 2 areas of the game and the first 3 bosses. All the bosses are quite wildly different. The first 2 areas... When you walk out of Hades Tower of Flame, you're expecting just to come out to... Like, you're going through sewers. You expect to come out to, like a castle thing. You come out and you're in the sea on a broken palace.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see for miles. You can see into the distance. It's gorgeous. The game has like
the water looks brilliant on it when you look out to the sea.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's like it's a sunset, and everything's got these kind of muted yellow colours.
And that music, Majula's music. Fuck.
Oh yes, the art direction and the sound direction and all the graphic stuff is wonderful in it. People need to give the game a chance. I love Dark Souls 2.
Same.
I don't think it's the best Dark Souls. Don't get me wrong. I think I fully believe the first Dark Souls is the best one. Then Dark Souls 3, then Dark Souls 2. But the only thing wrong with Dark Souls 2 is preference. It's still a fabulous game.
It's more of a game
really
than all
good.
the others, isn't it? It's very gamey.
Yeah, very gamey.
And a lot of people are like, oh, it's too easy to follow. It's not oblique enough. It's like, fucking enjoy the game, man. No one's listening to when you're talking to the Emerald Herald when she's like, seek, lest. No one's listening. You're just skipping to level up. Fuck it, just play the game, man. It's incredible.
I think Oodles does the best impression of internet people ever.
Oh, it does my fucking head in. People moaning. You're moaning, you don't deserve it.
I remember Eurogamer gave it 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
and their conclusion was, it's not as good as Dark Souls, but that still makes it better than 99% of games.
Yeah. Fucking.
So play Dark Souls 2, you fools. It's amazing.
It is. It really is.
Robotic Monkey knows. He played it through and he fucking loved it.
Oh, I think it's just got the replayability factor that I prefer out of this series, and
it's got more classes, more options, more weapons.
I've got it's the Dark Souls game I've played the most. I've got to New Game Plus 9 on one of my saves.
Psychopath.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
So this is what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm struggling through Dark Souls, and I definitely enjoy it and hate it at the same time. But once I'm done, I don't think I'm going to go back.
I reckon, and I'm not even being a stupid little bragger boy, because I reckon Gadget could probably do it. I think me and Gadget could get quite far without using his eyes playing that game.
Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 1?
1.
1?
I feel like I can play it in my head.
That's a stream challenge then.
I could probably get out the asylum at a push.
Yeah, that's what
I don't think I'd get that far in it.
Get to the nest. I think I could.
Yeah.
That's a brag, though. Some people do play it blind, though. Don't like they did with Super Mario 64.
My stupidest brag with the first Dark Souls, when I was doing YouTube stuff, I did a challenge gadget series. I got people to send me challenges. One of our listeners, Sneaky, he asked us to do Dark Souls without using any weapons.
All of it.
45 minutes. Not all of it, just like, I was saying, like, I'll do an hour of a challenge. 45 minutes to beat the fucking asylum demon with
we know how to use, like, bombs. Oh, you don't even get bombs there, do you? Unless you're a thief, I think.
No.
Wow.
That was fucking hard. It wasn't that it was a hard fight, it was the patience, it was the persistence.
Boring, innit?
Yeah. Trying to keep your concentration because you've got fucking out. But anyway, regardless of that, yes, Dark Souls 2, play it, fucking play it.
Play it tomorrow.
Yes.
Right then, we'll move on to Stig, because he hated that bit.
I didn't hate it. It's fine. It's just a game I'll never play. I feel like I've played it the amount of times.
Yeah, we're not selling it, are we?
I already know what happens. It's fine.
Yeah, you die.
Yeah.
No, I want to talk about a 2018 film starring Jason Bateman, Rachel McAdams, directed by John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein, and that is Game Night.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yes. How many people have seen this?
I've heard of it. I heard good things when it came out.
Exactly. This is the point.
I like Bateman, though.
I've never heard of it. I've heard of it, but I've heard good things. Why does no one watch this film?
Oh.
It's fucking great. It's easily the best mainstream comedy in the last 10 years.
Whoa.
You see, actually, there's the problem, because the way it was sold to me is it was a thriller. And
it has elements of it, but it's definitely a comedy.
I remember seeing the trailer, and the trailer kind of pushes it as a kind of a thriller rather than a comedy. Like, it's got Jason Bateman making those kind of awkward Jason Bateman jokes, but like the way it's just like, you know, because there is the turn in it, and it's just like, what are they going to do? It's like that kind of thing. It's just like,
that's taking the piss because of what happens in it and what it leads into.
Well, it doesn't sell it well.
It is certainly
I think it wasn't sold very well.
It's certainly a comedy.
Right. Okay.
It's really good. It also stars. You'll see if you might not recognize his names, but if you see the faces, you will do. Carl Chandler, Sharon Horgan, Billy Magnuson, Lamorne Morris, Kylie Bunbury, Jesse Plemons, and Michael C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall.
Yep, he is the bad guy. That's not really a spoiler. Just he's the bad guy.
He plays it well.
Yeah,
he's a good buddy.
Yeah. So this film is Max and Annie, who Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams. Weekly, Game Night gets kicked up a notch when Max's brother Brooks arranges a murder mystery party, complete with fake thugs and federal agents. So when Brooks gets kidnapped, it's all supposed to be part of the game. As the competitors set out to solve the case, they start to learn that neither the game nor Brooks are what they seem, and they're actually real-life mobsters involved.
Ooh.
Friends soon find themselves in over their heads at each twist leads to unexpected turn of over the course of one chaotic night. So basically, yeah, the setup is the brother tries to one-up. Max is really into game night, like really competitive. Like game night is his thing. Inviting the couples round. He chooses the games. He does this. But when
he's like game night, are you talking like board game night?
Board game night, yeah.
Right.
Like couples go over, they play board
Trivial
games
Pursuit.
together, they play charades, they play all these kind of couple Pictionary and all that kind of shit. But his brother tries to one-up it by doing a proper murder mystery.
Yeah, very competitive.
But he actually gets kidnapped by real mobsters because he's involved in something. So they think it's part of the game, but it's not.
Oh, right.
So they start to get entangled in real mobsters. And it's not until one of them gets seriously hurt that they realise, hang on, this is real.
Oh, that's clever.
What sets this apart from everything else for me is that it's not just some raunchy R-rated comedy film, as you might think it is with these actors. There's a lot of mystery, crime, and trivia about it, and there's a lot of subtle hints to games throughout the movie. So they do things like hot potato, if you know that, like, you know, when you throw it's an American thing, I think that one. There's nods to Operation and Mousetrap, and like, so there's actually games going on within the set piece that you can pick up on. The writing is great. The way the relationships are built and the characters react to one another is really genuine. The humour and the acting from McAdams and Bateman is great. There's some dated references, but the plot compensates the entire film. And I think the chemistry between McAdams and Bateman is fantastic. Like they bounce off each other so well with the quips and the jokes. I don't know how much was improvised or how much might just been script, but them two together.
I think with Bateman, he improvises a lot with all this stuff, doesn't he?
I'm not, honestly, I don't know, but like them two together, it's so good. Like they work so well. There is a scene with them in an alleyway where one of them has to perform surgery on the other, and it's one of the funniest scenes in a comedy I've seen in like say in the last 10 years or so. It's so fucking good, so well written, so well executed. The jokes are just perfect for that scene. But what it does best is it's a film that rewards people who like a lot of movies. It sets up common tropes, subverts it with reality. So there's a part where sneaking in through the hole in the roof, like it's not like let's sneak in through this hole in the roof. They won't know we can sneak
it's
in.
Not like Die
They
Hard.
make a shitload of noise doing this, like
Yeah.
regular people would. Do you know what I mean? They aren't spies. They aren't like master assassins or anything. So they try to sneak in and they just make a shitload of noise. But then it follows tropes with the same thing. Like so it kind of mixes a lot of it together really well. The directors and the cinematography is really well done as well for a film like this. Like Jesse Plemons' character will make you crack up, like just from him standing there and talking about mundane shit, because the camera like slowly zooms in on his face and it uses like a lot of horror and thriller tropes when he's doing that. But he's just this awkward nerdy character, so his character is so good. He's a next door neighbor who used to come to game night, but since he got divorced because he's not a couple anymore, he doesn't get invited, and he's a really weird dude. And he's always like, every time they come home, he's just there, and he's like, "That's it. Is it game night tonight?" And they're like, "Oh no!" It's just like, "I see you got the crisps that you always buy on game night." "Oh no, these aren't for me." You know what I mean? Like he's there, he's on their shoulder, he's constantly like wanting to be involved, and he's so creepy in his delivery.
Jesse Plemons, that ginger guy. Sometimes is he in that the
Jesse
town?
Jesse Plemons is the one in Breaking Bad, the young guy that's part of the Nazi crew.
Isn't he in that the town, that Ben Affleck film? I'm sure he's in that as well.
I've seen him been in a load of things recently.
Yeah, he's usually a baddie, isn't he?
That or really creepy.
Yeah,
just have a really creepy.
He's ginger, isn't he? I'm thinking it right guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's like really like blonde, strong.
He looks a bit like Matt Damon.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Uglier version of him.
Yeah, everything about him though.
Friend of the show.
I know he's a friend of the show. I know he listens. Sorry, Jesse.
It's hilarious but unnerving at the same time. He is just like the standout in that film. He's so good.
He is very good in that.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, for me, like what mainstream comedies we had in the last 10 years, probably 21 Jump Street, Bridesmaids, they get talked up a lot. And, rightfully so, I enjoy those films. They're really funny. But this one doesn't seem to get mentioned a lot. Like you say to people, "Have you seen Game Night?" And like, No,
Nope.
I bet that I never heard of it. Like, but it's got 6, 7 out of 10s from most places. But for me, when I do my Letterboxd reviews, I give it a 4 out of 5.
Wow.
A little extra heart for that extra But yeah, I think there's running jokes throughout with one of the couples about one of them slept with a celebrity.
Oh.
And the payoff to it is fucking incredible. The self-surgery scene is brilliant. There's a scene with a dog and some blood, which is just absolutely hilarious.
I don't want to see any dead dogs.
No dead dogs. It's nothing to do with the dog. The dog isn't bleeding. But just what happens to the dog with the blood is just so good. And
you've intrigued me now. I've added it to my watch list.
I'm there.
It is good.
I'm there.
I definitely have to watch it again.
I'm ready for it.
I remember my wife and I really chuckling out loud watching it.
There's just it's so good. Have anyone watched New Girl before?
Yeah.
Yes.
The guy who plays Winston, he's in it.
Oh, yeah.
He's really good. Like some of the lines
he's good in that though.
Yeah, he is. But some of the lines it comes out with are just absolutely hilarious. So, yeah, honestly, there's that, and there's a scene in a bar with McAdams and Bateman's characters that's just, it's just great. It's really great comedy. And like, I think that these days, comedies, especially mainstream comedy, a lot of my favourite comedies are a lot more either indie stuff or not as, like say, mainstream is the better option.
I prefer like a dark comedy now.
So like
normally
I like Grand Budapest Hotel or What We Do in the Shadows. They're not mainstream comedies. Like that's what I've enjoyed more the last decade or so.
Yeah, you don't consider them like Hollywood blockbusters, do
No,
you?
Exactly. This is a Hollywood comedy.
Yeah.
And it's great. And I think it just more people need to see it. And I think it just got I don't think 3 out of 5's 60%, 70% does it justice. I think it's better than that.
Yeah, I'm with Gadget. I think it was just marketed badly. Even the front cover of the poster makes it just look like this god awful.
It looks generic. The
comedy,
the generic makes it look like generic. Or we've got 2 A-list celebrities doing comedy, but if you've seen Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams do comedy, they're very good at it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but I think as well, Jason Bateman was also starting to do some drama stuff at the time. I think wasn't that the same year that the first season of Ozark came out and stuff like that.
That's why I struggle with Ozark as well. I was expecting something a bit more lighthearted when it's just really not at all.
Not getting that from Ozark.
Make me laugh, funny man.
Dance, clown, dance.
We want Michael Bluth.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, honestly,
that's a
it's
great
definitely
pick.
worth a watch. Definitely worth a watch.
I'm going to do it. It's getting absolutely put on my list. Like, I don't have a gaming backlog, but my film backlog is ridiculous.
Mine's ridiculous. It gets bigger and bigger all the time. Like,
oh, God, it never ends. Brilliant. Right, we'll move on to me because that's just how I can see it in front of me. I'm going to talk about a film that's underrated critically and user scores as well. But it's a film I know we've all seen. It's called Blade 2. And it's... my history with this film. It's one of my favourite comic book films
best
ever.
Blade film.
It's the best Blade film. So, for people that don't know, it's got a 57% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really? I think it was
That's
that bad.
Way too low.
It's stupidly low. It's from 2002. Sorry?
I don't think it's like a great film or anything like that, but
Not that bad,
for
is
me,
it?
For me, it's like a 7 out of 10 film.
Bear in mind, 57%. Like, what you assume Ghost Rider would get.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But that got even worse.
Well, yeah, naturally.
That's not underrated. Shouldn't have existed. But yeah, so 2002, it's an American superhero / horror film. Ooh. And it's based on the fictional character Blade from Marvel Comics. And I don't know if you know, I like comics. It's directed by Guillermo del Toro. Everyone knows who he is. But at that moment, not many people did. It's written by
many
David...
people in English-speaking countries.
Yeah.
Still very, very popular in Spanish-speaking countries.
Yeah. It was written by David S. Goyer, who I believe did the first one as well.
Oh, I mean, he's not got a good track record.
No, he ain't. And it's the middle of the trilogy. I mean, calling it a Blade trilogy, the only real story aspects, the only ones connected really is that the fact that it's all the same characters. There's no like overarching narrative to Blade.
No one counts 3 anyway.
No, it's fucking shit.
Certainly not Wesley Snipes.
No, no, you were barely in it. So,
well, no, I think he meant not on his taxes either.
Yeah, true, true. So the film follows the human-vampire hybrid Blade in his continuing effort to protect humans from vampires. Blade's a daywalker, what they call, so all the strengths of a vampire and none of the weaknesses is what he says, apart from the fact that he likes to drink blood sometimes because he still has the thirst of a vampire. So he has a serum, doesn't he? Straight in his neck. And by Blade 2, the serum's not really working that well. He's got a little friend on it called Scud, played by Norman Reedus, who at that point, he was only Boondock Saints I knew him from. Can you remember any other Norman Reedus things from 2002?
From 2002, he was in Pandorum before Walking Dead came out.
Yes, he was.
For like 5 minutes before he got
Pandorum.
tossing a trash compactor.
That's another underrated film. I liked it.
Ish.
I liked it. But yeah, so...
a bit shit.
Obviously, it's Del Toro, so it's gothic as fuck, which I believe the first film lacked. The first film was more about ravers. It was a rave culture film, wasn't it? Trendy, New York City, or was it Chicago? I can't remember. One of the big cities. And it was,
the only thing I can remember from the first one is that scene where they walk into the club and go, base in the place, London.
Yeah, that's what everyone
The
remembers.
opening's incredible.
A Blade one.
The rave and all the blood coming down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Blade one.
Amazing scene.
It has some great set pieces in it, but it's not a great coherent film. Like Deacon Frost is not a very scary baddie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who gives
no,
a
I'll give you
fuck
that.
about that? It's crap. The main baddie in Blade is himself. Do you know what I mean? But it's a bit too ravey. It's a bit too, let's all pop some ecstasy and watch Blade. That kind of thing. Blade 2, on the other hand, completely different. It's gothic. It's got a lot of lore to the world. So I think the best decision Del Toro did, and it's probably not just for the film's reasons, it's probably for tax reasons. He set it in Prague. Prague, very gothic-looking city, isn't it? And it just suits it. It suits it. Most of the actors in it, apart from Wesley Snipes and the people from the first one and Scud, the European. So it's got that added Transylvania-esque accent to a lot of these vampires and stuff. But what's really good is, you all know who Luke Goss is, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's incredible. You remember the character he plays? The fucking... He opened. It's like a vampire mutant. I don't even know what you call it, really.
I think you're probably about right. And that's pretty much what they were, weren't they?
Reapers. That's the one. I just had to. The nickname them Reapers. It's like an evolution of vampire. These are super scary vampires that eat vampires. So that's their thing. And it's just really good. He plays it really well. It's what Blade 2 does for me over any other is the choreography. It's fantastic.
The fight scenes in it are great.
Oh, they're brilliant. And you've got some really scary, like Dracula-looking baddies and stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's just got everything. It's got Ron Perlman in it.
Oh yeah, they split open, don't they? The mouth, so they've got a split from the mouth down to the bottom of the chin, and it opens up like a kind of predator mouth, and then kind of plants around
other vampires.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
why
really scary.
The best thing about this is it like reverses roles. Like in the first Blade, the vampire council or the ruling body of vampires hate Blade, but in this one they have to get his aid to help him kill these Reapers. He's the best vampire killer, but these Reapers are fucking borderline indestructible. So Blade has to team up with Ron Perlman's Blood Pack, and it's a bit like Ocean's 11 vampires.
Those are four words that work excellently together. Ron Perlman Blood Pack.
Yeah.
That is a collection of words where you look at them and go, fuck yeah.
I'm in. And he plays it exceptionally. He does his usual thing. There are moments in this that haven't aged well. There's light racism in it, but not overbearing. It's nothing terrible. There's some nice twists in it. It's just a really solid comic book adaptation. Like Blade's, you know, Biggie. Blade's quite a gothic book, isn't it? It's quite dark, and until like someone like Spider-Man turns up and they have to tone it down a bit. But
gotta love crossovers.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely wondering. Like, I'm so intrigued what they're going to do for the MCU version.
So am I. So I don't know which direction they're going with that one. But the thing. In the comic books, there was no blood in Blade. It was plasma that all the vampires were drinking, just so for the comic book code. Not nowadays. Nowadays, it's all blood and guts and stuff. No one gives a fuck anymore. But
Did no one question how they got the plasma?
no, kids didn't. There was no blood.
But it's a bit of blood.
Yeah, obviously, of course.
We didn't understand.
Yeah, kids don't know. But yeah, this I don't know. What it is with this film, it's like, it's quite timeless because it's set in Prague. You could put it on now and think it were 2021. Do you know what I mean? It's quite timeless. Look, I think every Del Toro film, they all look really timeless. It's just, I don't know what it is that he does. It just makes things work.
Del Toro is very good with avoiding technology where he doesn't need it. Because in modern cinema, technology is what ages a film.
Yes. Look at the Matrix.
Like if you look at the Matrix are wandering around with like Nokia dumb phones or
the banana phone.
Anything where there's technical product placement. Like you watch like Casino Royale, you can tell it's from 2006 because of the fucking Sony Walkman he's got on him and stuff like that. Yeah. Like,
well, Del Toro is a visual director as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's renowned for his visuals.
Oh, it's a gorgeous looking film.
Yeah, Del Toro always seems to make a point of making things look timeless.
Yeah, and it just I think what it is with him is his use of like color and cinematography for certain scenes. Like every scene that Blade's fighting in, there's a mass strong emphasis on red. Because vampires, and the scenes where like there's exposition, it's blue. There's a lot of blue lights and stuff like that. And when they're out and about, it's always nighttime because it's a vampire film. But it's like it's greens and stuff like it's so. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really clever how he does it. And there's scenes when like because there's like an intro would introducing you to Blade, and there's like an epilogue at the end of it, and they're completely separate color palettes to the rest of the film, just to show you that. It's not really linked to the main. He's fucking Del Toro, and he knows what he's doing, man.
I just realised he used Luke Goss again in Hellboy 2.
Yeah, because Luke Goss is incredible at backflipping.
Top of his CV, can backflip.
Yeah, he's brilliant in this.
Can't sing, but can back.
He's like all the other Reapers look like Luke Goss. He don't play them all. It's just prosthetics, isn't it? But he's like the top Reaper, and he's just it's so fucking good. And you kind of start feeling sorry for. I love it when you feel sorry for the baddies, but you're like, I feel sorry for you, but you've still got to die. Do you know what I mean? I love that.
There's some pathos to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think it's Blade's best adventure. I mean, Blade Trinity, my God,
that was dreadful.
What happened there, man?
Fucking what? Oh.
And the quality of actors they had as well.
Oh.
The only good thing about that film was Ryan Reynolds swearing.
Yeah.
Not his character or his dialogue, just his swearing. It's very creative.
He's very
swearing.
sexy. You got Ryan Reynolds, who's very sexy. You got Wesley
Very
Snipes,
sexy.
older but
Very
sexy.
sexy.
Yeah. Chris Christopherson, very sexy.
They've got a couple of muscle men. Triple H's in there.
Yeah.
His muscle
Yeah.
career.
Parker Posey, very sexy.
What's his name? Dominic Purcell was the main bad guy.
Yeah. Drake. That's what we were called in it. But yeah.
Fresh off Prison Break.
Yes.
I think.
Prison Drake, we called him in it.
Yeah, would have been at that time.
Yeah.
I've got a theory about Dominic Purcell that he just gets hired because of how big he is.
It's his shoulders.
He was in.
You want big shoulders? He was in Flash,
Blood Red
wasn't
Sky. Blood Red Sky.
Oh. Because last thing I saw him in was DC's Legends of
he? Yeah,
Tomorrow.
Pyro or something, isn't he?
Yeah, he was fucking terrible in that.
Yeah.
Wasn't he actually Wentworth Miller's brother in that show?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, they were they played brothers in that in the DC
They look
show.
completely
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, but no, he was in that Blood Red Sky, and I was like looking at it, going, "Is that Dominic Purcell?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it's just a big, massive. His head's like a big.
Oh, I don't know how he got on that plane. I don't know how he got on the plane. Big head. But if you're listening, we love you still. Don't worry. But Blade Trinity was shit, mate. But Blade 2, I think if you're going to watch a non-MCU Marvel film, I mean, people will probably argue with me, but I think that's the one to watch.
I'd say Spider-Man 2, but it's a close second.
It's there, yeah.
You need to watch Spider-Man 2 now, anyway.
Yeah, you do. I think you do, guys. But yeah, Blade 2's brilliant. It's nice and gothic, and at the time, 2002, fucking was I using eyeliner? I was. It just worked, and at that point, apart from Demolition Man, I think that was Wesley Snipes' best bit as well. He smiles a lot in Blade 2, and I enjoy when Wesley Snipes smiles, like when he's Simon Phoenix in Demolition Man. It's an incredible role. But yeah, watch Blade 2.
Jack City.
Yeah, absolutely. It's underrated. people forget it exists. I asked people, I'm like, have you seen Blade 2? The choreography in that's like immense. They're all like, Blade 2, is that the one with Ryan Reynolds? No, it's not. Stop it. So yeah, watch it. It's incredible. And if you don't like it, watch something else. I love it. What do you guys think of Blade 2, by the way?
I liked it.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, it's
Best
great.
one.
I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed Blade 3. I'm sorry to
Shut
say.
up.
I know. I just
seriously?
generally enjoyed all of them. I think.
After next week, don't come back.
Yeah, fair enough.
You've now got to follow that statement with what your choice now. That you
I
enjoyed
know.
Blade Trinity.
Blade 3.
That is her choice.
Yeah. Awkward. No, it's not, but it does have a bit of a link to it. So mine's a bit of a double whammy because I'm going with underrated actor within an underrated film, and I'm going with Smoking Aces.
I know the link.
The director of Boss Fight
Yes.
directed that.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, right. I can see where
now
this
that
is going to
explains
go
some
now.
of the cast as well. So if you don't know the story of Smoking Aces, it's a Las Vegas magician and would-be crime boss, Buddy Aces Israel agrees to testify against former partner and friend Primo Sparazza in return for admittance into the witness protection program. However, before the deal can be hammered out, Sparazza orders a hit on Israel, and a host of hitmen and women race to kill the snitch and kill the bounty, while the FBI endeavors to keep their source of information alive. Now, when this was released, and it was released in 2006, it received mediocre to sort of lukewarm reviews. And the internet sort of in a collective agreement that it was advertised like Game Night it was advertised as a very different film.
Oh, yeah.
So where people were expecting sort of all-out light-hearted action, what the film became, it was actually quite an intertwining story that had to be paid attention to.
It's very Guy Ritchie.
It is in a more American way, I would say. It's a louder Guy Ritchie.
Came out
Okay, sorry, it's more like,
after-
hey, Guy Ritchie, man.
Hey, Guy.
Hey,
It
Guy.
came out from after all those films, didn't it? So everyone assumed it was going to be another version of one of those films, didn't they?
Yeah, I think even this title's a bit sort of Guy Ritchie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Lock, Stock, Smoking Aces,
Absolutely.
and Two Smoking Barrels.
They were jumping on it, but it's like, yeehaw, lock, stock, two smoking barrels.
And there's something I'm going to clip for future use. I can see a myriad of uses for that. Twitch announcements. You get a follow,
Howdy,
we get
y'all.
that.
Yes, Twitch subscription.
We do need to get that American
Sorry,
audience.
Candy.
That's quite all right. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so actually the film becomes quite an intertwining story. It does have to be paid attention to when it comes to the sort of the ultimate, I don't want to say showdown because actually it doesn't really come to that, but
Payoff,
the
at
sort of
least.
endings. Yeah. I mean, the ending scene actually ends in an ultimate moral dilemma for Ryan Reynolds' character. And it's actually quite hard-hitting, and it's a wonderful demonstration of his acting abilities. And that's why I sort of said it's an underrated actor within an underrated film. Because we all know Ryan Reynolds for his comedy roles because he does it so well, but actually he can do serious roles really well as well. And I first knew of him from doing serious roles.
He looks
and it's
great
only
in
more-
this as well.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't he always? He's another one that doesn't age.
Yeah.
But I think he's really, really good, and he's underrated. It's got an incredible cast. I don't know if you can remember, like, just how many names
Ben
are in it. So you've
Affleck,
got
I think.
Ben Affleck's in it, Ryan Reynolds we talked
Ray
about,
Liotta.
Ray Liotta, Jeremy Piven, Alicia Keys is in it, Chris Pine
Andy
is in it.
Garcia.
That must be one of the first things
Yeah,
Chris
Andy
Pine ever did. Well,
It's
in the big
certainly
leagues,
one-
because pre-Star Trek, that wasn't it?
2007-ish,
It's
I
certainly
think.
one of the first things I remember seeing him in. Tommy Flanagan from Sons of Anarchy as
Yeah.
well, and Jason Bateman again.
Wow. Common.
And I think actually, I think the majority of the cast, as you said, it was in a point of their careers where they hadn't quite reached the A-list yet. Or they were having, in the case of Ben Affleck, he was having a slightly quieter time in his career. But yeah, it's one of the first things I remember seeing Chris Pine in, and I don't know if it's the director just has a very good eye about who's going to do well.
Yeah.
It was advertised as a crazy action comedy. We've been over this, and it just wasn't. And I think it's that effect of not getting what you expected, like you said with Game Night, because funnily enough, I was expecting an all-out comedy with Game Night, and when it did become it did have more drama elements, that's what put me off. So I think there's a lot to be said about advertising something correctly. It did have light-hearted moments, but it certainly wasn't a comedy.
No.
Also, the soundtrack is by Clint Mansell as well. So you've got the person who's known for doing the soundtrack to Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan. It's just a really good film, and I think it ages well and it's shot well.
It only got
and
31% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's low as fuck.
So Rotten Tomatoes is 31%. IMDb is 6.5.
Yeah.
Empire is 3 out of 5. So it's not bad reviews, but certainly not particularly good ones. And I think it just.
I thought it was going to be like a Guy Ritchie movie, and I switched off about halfway through it because I just wasn't concentrating. Like you say, you've got to kind of follow it.
Yeah.
And I was expecting so much more from like a comedy, Guy Ritchie kind of gangster kind of movie.
Yeah, it's
and
not laugh a minute, is it?
It wasn't going the direction I thought it was, and I just didn't finish it. So I feel like from what you said, I should go back and check it out.
I think it's a great looking film though, like cinematography and how they use there's a lot of like Dutch angles and quick snaps, isn't there? You've got to like, ooh, don't blink.
And the transitions between the scenes as well are really, it's almost kind of like it almost feels a bit sort of Edgar Wright in some ways.
Yeah, it is colour coded to each gang and stuff like that as well. It's clever.
It's good. No, I've really enjoyed it, and I really wish it had done better
They did
than
a
it
Smoking
did.
Aces too.
They did.
With Vinnie Jones.
Did they?
Yes.
Yeah, but like if you
I've
look at
seen
that look at the cast list from Smoking Aces 1, then look at it.
Yeah. Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie Jones is the lead in the second. It's like that's a
What are you
bit of a
talking
drop
about?
off.
Ernie Hudson's in it. That means it's a classic.
Oh, it must be.
Oh, Assassin's Ball. Why did I never hear of this? Although some of the reviews are actually better than the original Smoking
Yeah.
Aces.
No, it is.
on some sites.
Yeah. It's got Michael
Which
Parks
proves my
in it.
point.
Everyone loves Michael Parks. He's brilliant.
I'm going to watch that tonight.
Yeah.
It does look. It does look very
Vinnie
much
Jones's
more Guy
character
Ritchie,
name in
doesn't
number
it?
2 is called Finbar McTeague. That's my new D&D name.
The main character's called Walter Weed.
Ooh, wonder what he smokes.
Always a bit of a weed. Yeah, really enjoyed it, and I think it should have done better than it did. And I think it's worth revisiting with fresh eyes and knowing actually what you're getting into a bit more.
It is on Blu-ray, I've just looked. Might be worth a Blu-ray, that one. Cool, excellent. Big A. Finish us off.
Okay, dokes. So I'm going to talk about a game that has been referred to on this pod, and our esteemed editor has also streamed it.
Have I?
It is, of
Let's
course.
just shoot Larry.
It's Prey.
Oh, yes.
It's-
Ooh.
It's a first-person shooter. It was developed by Arcane Studios. It was published by Bethesda Softworks. This was off the back of the success of Dishonored, which is another awesome game. And the team, a bit like you were talking about From Software, sorry. They kind of divided after Dishonored. They were given 2 projects. What's going on with me tonight?
We're all a bit
So
broken
they
today.
divided projects. So one team went to develop Dishonored 2, and another team were asked to do a different IP. And they came up with Prey. And I've never played the original game, so I cannot tell
Not
you
linked at all, is it?
any of it linked
vastly
with that
different.
game.
There
Same
was
name.
no link between 2006 Prey and 2017 Prey. Not just the name is the same.
There you go. So it's released in 2017. I love the intro to this game.
Yeah.
The way
Yes.
it is set up is fantastic. And I don't want to talk about the main spoiler at the beginning of the game because I feel like it's one of those things.
I kind of need to, though, because there's a moment because I've never played this game, but luckily Gadget played it all for me while I was in the bath.
On stream,
I can
instead of you
happily
on
talk
stream.
about it
And
if you guys want me to.
I just want to spoil that
reveal
little
it,
bit
I
at the
can.
beginning. So put
Again, I'll get the spoiler clock.
get the klaxon out.
If you want to skip the spoilers for Prey 2017, skip ahead to 1 hour 46.
that quick little bit at the beginning where you're doing it. I don't know if this is the spoiler bit that you mean, but the quick little bit at the beginning where you're doing this like aptitude test, and it's in the guy says to you something like, at any point, if you just hide as naturally as you want, and Gadget hid behind a chair, and he went, he's behind a chair. What's he doing behind that chair? And that was my favourite bit.
But it's a great reveal later when when you find out why that is. The bit that I love, and I loved your reaction to it on the stream as well, because you were in the chat at the time, which is after you've gone through that first
I do bathe with my phone in
my
my hand. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, you wake up again in your apartment.
Yeah,
and I'd played this bit before, so I knew what to do. But the whole thing is like you're supposed to just like experiment.
You were
with
streaming, and you were like you're showing everyone what the game's doing.
Yeah.
So
and then I turned to the apartment window and I just smashed it.
Oh,
and like
fuck.
And you see the studio behind the window, and in the chat, Oodles was just typing in capitals, "What the fuck? What's going on? I'm not prepared for this."
It's so good.
Played the whole game for me, which was beautiful. I loved it.
And then, of course, you come to what I love about how the game is actually introduced with the opening credits, is that you take this chopper ride to where you think you're going to this building of where your brother is, I think it is, from memory.
Alex.
And you take this chopper ride through the city, and as you fly, it's very much like a David Fincher movie.
Yeah,
where
you see things on there.
It shows the
buildings.
names of the game and the director and whatever in the buildings, like as hoardings or in the windows. It's so
like
good.
an old-fashioned Neversoft game.
Oh yeah, it's very,
I
very
really enjoyed
stylish.
that bit. It's funny, isn't it, what actually makes it effective?
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the way it was introduced too.
And the artwork is very similar to Dishonored. It's very kind of if you play Dishonored, then obviously you're going to know what I'm talking about. But it's very characterized.
The stylized humans, but everything else is photorealistic. Basically,
it's really good. I love it.
You got the Art Deco style of Talos One's incredible.
Yeah,
oh God, it's brilliant.
You've got the fact the game was sort of recognised for having Asian protagonists.
Oh
as
yeah,
well,
yes,
which was a nice touch.
Absolutely.
You can go either gender as well when you start.
kind of doesn't really make any difference other than just
just choice.
Your pronouns change depending on who's talking to you. That's it.
Yeah,
is it called Alex?
Both. Wait, no. So both male or female characters are Morgan Yu.
Morgan, that's it. Morgan Yu,
your brother's Alex.
As in you, because you're playing it.
So when you suddenly realise, once it's revealed that you're not where you think you are and you're actually out in space on this sort of orbital station, as you want to call it, called Talos 1. And it's one of those games where you can do almost, and I do mean almost, anything you want. You can go in different directions. You can open up areas depending on either how you spec up or how you want to play the game. If you do something very early on, you can get hold of what is used quite a lot in the game called the goo gun.
It's a good gun.
Which allows you to sort of spray almost like this sort of putty.
No more nails.
Almost after you fired it, and then you can make sort of stairways out of that if you want
penis.
to jump up.
Excuse me?
But yeah, it's just a really cool way to sort of play around with the area, a bit like how it's basically taking ideas from lots of games. So it takes the idea of a game like Half-Life where you sort of play around with the scenery. Can you do this? Can I do this in this game? Oh yeah, I can. Oh no, I can't. You know, and it's about discovery.
It's a lot more like Dishonored, though, isn't it? But not as fluid like movement.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's taken all the best things from the immersive Sims of the year. So it's got a lot of like that old Looking Glass design. So it's a lot of stuff like Deus Ex and System Shock and stuff like that.
Reading a lot of logs, aren't you?
Yeah, but like,
that sets the game world.
It does.
That's what I love about this.
It. Yeah, I love a log.
It's there's a moment early on in the game where you get given a dart gun.
Yeah.
And it's just a Nerf gun. It fires little Nerf bullets.
Yeah.
And you think, what the fuck's the point of this? It's not going to hurt anything. Until the first time you realise that like you can like peer through a broken window and fire the gun at the touchscreens on the computer and open doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, this is systems. Yeah. This is mind blowing systems. I love it.
It is. It's as simple as that. You can play the game any way you want. You can go all out action. You can be stealthy as much as you want to try and get those sort of stealthy kills. There's a way that you can spec your character up because as the story gets revealed that you're not alone quite early on, obviously at the beginning of
you're not
the test
alone.
that Oodles refers to with the mimics, you end up discovering there's a new species, an alien race called Typhons. And you can then start taking on their powers if you want to, but you don't have to. There's probably points where you probably need to, but then you can still go just one direction or you can go the other. There's multiple endings depending on what you do in the game. There's side quests that you can choose to do or not.
Some of them the Gadget did were great. Some of them are just like, but just side bits in it.
Yeah, some of the side quests aren't amazing, but there are some really good ones, some really good story ones.
Yeah.
So my favorite one is there's a group of people playing D&D.
Yeah.
And you follow their quest line, you get like a massive trove of supplies. And it's great. You like go into someone's apartment and you read their email and it says, if you look at the map, it's E4.
Yeah,
and it's like a treasure map to find where you need to go, and you're like just collecting it as you go. Right, it's so good.
It is,
because all the clues that you need are scattered throughout all of Talos 1. It takes fucking ages to find it all.
It also takes that idea from BioShock where you don't know whether to trust everybody, because there's obviously your brother, but you've got this sort of floating droids,
companion,
drones, whatever. That there's one that's sort of talking to you as well, saying, don't trust him, do this. There's lots of sort of red herrings, and I just loved it. I loved the work. I got so lost in this game.
I genuinely think it's quite scary.
It's brilliant. It has the mimics.
It's that bit when Gadget, when you were playing it for me, because
nightmare.
If you're never going to play this game, I absolutely recommend watching Gadget's play through. Because when he reads a little log for you, that's lovely as well. I always prefer when someone's reading to me. And there was that bit when because he was trying to show me, because he knew about this, because he'd played the beginning hour. He was like trying to show me. He went, look at this table. And I'm like, yeah, there's 2 cups there. There's a lamp there. There's this. And he's like, why would there be 2 cups? And I'm like, and then this big fucking spider comes out.
Yeah.
Fucking terrifying.
Horrifying.
Oh. The worst part is when you don't hear the audio cue for them going in. Like when you're streaming, you're talking to the chat, and it's a very subtle audio cue when mimics enter the environment, and if you're not paying attention, it's easy to miss. And you'll be walking through somewhere, and he's like, I've got like 10 health left. I need to find something to eat health, and then one jumps at your face, like, fuck you, you bastards.
There are some funny bits. I've seen some after watching Gadget play. There are some bits, some like not fails, but some video collections on YouTube where the mimics, the AI of the mimics, has just gone that little bit wrong. Where
it happens.
There's a chair perfectly balanced in the middle of a stairwell and stuff like that. I wonder what you are.
Yeah, there's a few moments like that.
But that distrust that's created from that atmosphere, because it's not just about the plot as well. It's just the fact that the mimics could be anything. And then there's even bigger enemies that you fight as well. So you're constantly on edge, because you're never quite sure in every room you go into whether it's safe to go in straight away or not. And the furniture could be anything. There's traps, there's all sorts of things. And then you can go out into space as well. And the sound design...
I think it's called Outer Space.
All right. But it's brilliant. I just love the fact that when you're out there, the sound is how you imagine it would be. It's just
quiet.
Again, it's like Dead Space. It's just got that, the audio changes and you can hear your character breathing. And I just found those bits out there really tense as well. I just love the atmosphere. And I stupidly slept on this game for... Dishonored I slept on for a year at least. I got it on the PS3 and changed over to the PS4. I didn't play it till then. And I did the same kind of thing with this game as well. And I think Dishonored 2 is going to be my PS4 to PS5 game, because I should go and play that. Arcane games are brilliant.
Yeah.
They are so good.
And people don't talk about this game enough, because Dishonored, quite rightly, is a great game, and 2.
I might be wrong, but I don't know. I like these Arcane games. Like, I'm not. Everyone knows I'm not the biggest fan of Dishonored, but same with Half-Life 2. I haven't played much to say I'm not a massive fan. But Prey, even though I've not physically played it, I feel like I have played it because I've watched him do it all. And I just don't. I don't know if these Arcane games sell that much. And the critical darlings, they're like the gamers' games. You know what I mean?
They are very much up until this point. I think Deathloop's probably going to be the first one that's going to sell gangbusters on console, but up to this point, they're very much a PC gamers kind of.
Yeah, that's it. It's like
crowd.
a connoisseur's game, isn't it? Someone that
like
immersive sim. It's too deep for just like some casual audiences.
That's the thing as well. Like an immersive sim, so like Prey. it's not really a shooter.
No,
it is more of an RPG than anything.
Yeah.
In fact, if you walk into any situation guns blazing, you're probably going to die quite quickly.
Absolutely.
I did several times.
Like
I
I
also
did
did.
Bioshock a lot.
Yeah, and it does that thing that survival horror games do, where like ammo is
Scarce.
quite scarce, but you can craft your own ammo, but the resources are scarce and stuff like that. So like,
Oh yeah, the recyclers.
the recyclers, great stuff.
Yeah.
It is, and also the fact that this is, I've not placed. Oh my god, I've not played System Shock either, and this is like the spiritual successors to that apparently.
In a way.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's got a lot of the
They're taking a lot
influences.
of that shock horror sort of design, and the space station is one big contained map in its own way. So it's just kind of, it's brilliant. I could go on
if you
forever
liked
about this
Bioshock,
game.
play this. It's that simple, isn't it?
I think so. I really think so. And
Yeah.
if you just give the time to the logs, read what's presented in there, listen to all the
Immerse yourself in the
cues and
immersive
stuff.
sim.
Yes, it's just, you've got to do it to appreciate this game.
And don't be afraid to
everyone
fuck
to
around
play.
with things, because fucking around with things can get you some great results.
But if you want to help us, don't play it and watch Gadget play it. I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, if you're not going to play it, just watch it. Definitely.
It's one of those games that gets very hairy towards the end. That last couple of hours was very tense. I think from the point where you reset the power systems all the way to the very last cutscene, I was just sprinting through Talos 1.
Sweating.
Nope, not fighting anything. Just run. Healing item.
Great game.
I think tense is the best way to describe the game as a whole, really, isn't it? It's not all out horror, but it's just squeaky bum the whole
when
way
this
through.
game came out, I saw a lot of nines. So
it was
people love it.
critically well reviewed, but no one picked it up.
No one picked it up.
Especially on the consoles. Like, it's got a really strong player base on the PC.
Yeah.
And then they did the roguelike DLC.
Yeah, is that any good?
Yes, it's incredible.
It's all right.
I
I didn't mind it.
It's one of those ones where it takes again from survival horror that you've got like 5 characters to play through the scenario. It kind of changes it up every time. But if you take certain items with your first character, the second character won't have them available. So you've got the whole idea is trying to get all 5 characters out.
I like that. Yeah,
Very, very good. Lots of replayability.
Even though I watched you play it, I might play it myself again. Actually,
it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
And again, it's been on sale so many times, which is
Has it got
such a
FPS
shame.
boost on that?
Yes.
Ooh. Even more an excuse to play it, guys. So either play it or watch Gadget. Either one, we're happy with that. But yeah, great choice, Biggie. But I'm deadly curious of what our listeners believe to be underrated. So get that bulging sack out that you've got right under your desk, Gadget, and show me.
That gets presented worse.
I know, it's every week. Even when he's not he hasn't slept. He's been up for fucking 32 hours. How has he managed this? Right.
A lot of caffeine.
Okay. Dominic Skelton's come in saying, for underappreciated, pretty much the entire output of Leica Studio. Sorry. Yeah. Kubo and the Two Strings is legit goddamn masterpiece.
Yeah, it is.
With very little mainstream market penetration. Missing Link tanked horribly, yet is a far better film than the shite hoovered up by Saturday morning kids clubs week in, week out. I also add to that the Box Trolls. I really like the Box Trolls.
Yeah, and Missing Link
film.
is. I watched
like
that
Missing
after
Link.
watching the Minions film, and I was like, God, that Minions is shite compared to Missing Link.
Minions is shite in general.
The buff. I mean, Minions is shit, but I didn't like Missing Link. It's a bit.
I liked it.
He goes on to say,
Unreal.
Kubo's incredible.
I like Minions.
He goes on to say, for just plain underrated, how about Hudson Hawk? Brilliant kitschy fun, pretty much universally panned because it got pigeonholed as a comedy without jokes when it's really a whimsical, adventurous delight.
Yeah.
I've never watched that.
Oh, it's your man. It's your man, innit? Bruce Willis.
Yeah. I've seen it, but I've
got his hat on, hasn't he?
Much about it.
He wears his hat. That's all I can remember from it. He's got an hat.
John Shepard says Unbreakable is arguably one of the best superhero films.
It's incredible.
Kubo and the Two Strings is a masterpiece, never gets mentioned.
Well, it does.
Imajika by Clive Barker is one of the best fantasy novels, and hardly anyone seems to have read it.
I have.
Which book,
And
sorry?
It is good.
Imajika.
Yeah, but it hasn't got any
Imagine.
sadomasochism in it, so I'm not going to read it.
No, I absolutely agree with John on this. It is really good.
And for his last point, I'm going to agree as hard as I've agreed with anybody here. Agent Carter is one of the best exports of the MCU.
Never seen it.
Neither have
Fucking
I.
loved Agent Carter.
I don't know why.
It's fucking brilliant.
I just never bothered. Because,
Agent Carter is still canon as well, isn't it?
Do you know why? It's because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a TV show that came out around the same time.
Yeah.
I just felt, that's shit. And I was just like, I can't be asked for another TV show. But now, like, it came about the wrong time, actually, really, didn't it? Because if you did an Agent Carter now, it'd get a shitload of production and money put behind it.
Agent Carter is great because it's like, it's not a superhero thing. It's a proper like kind of gumshoe detective thing.
Is it like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy? Something like that? No,
not so much. It's a bit camper than that. Ooh. And Hayley Atwell's just still incredible.
She's incredible. She's brilliant.
As Peggy Carter. But definitely watch that. It's so fucking good. I really enjoyed it.
They're not canonized. The Netflix ones, are they? They're not actually like in the MCU. Like the Punisher and.
Right, them. No, they're not.
The Agent Carter is because it's linked to one of the films.
It's linked to First Avenger. Yeah. Joe Payne says, obligatory shout out to The Last Jedi for being the best Star Wars film.
What?
I still like The Last Jedi. I think that
I like The Last Jedi.
I think it did some really good stuff.
The best Star Wars film, did you say?
Yeah.
Has he seen Empire Strikes Back?
But he also thinks RoboCop's shit, so
Whoa! I'll buy that for $1.
I really like Last Jedi. I think it's the most beautiful Star Wars film. Like the visual style.
Favorite ending,
is incredible.
It's the most daring one as well.
Yeah. Anyway, he goes on to say, The Nice Guys never seems to be watched by people outside of our sort of circles, though it's excellent. I agree. The Nice Guys is brilliant. I talked about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, incredible.
The Guest seems to be largely slept on.
Never heard of it.
Same with Personal Shopper.
Personal Shopper's meant to be really good, actually. I need to. It's on my watch list. Watch list.
Udo seems to be the one getting through this episode with no issues.
I've gone past it now. I've plateaued. I'll never sleep again.
Steve Jobs. Nobody saw that or talks about it, but it's incredible. Now, is that the one with Michael Fassbender?
Yes,
or is that the one with Aaron?
The good one.
Ashton Kutcher?
It's the good one.
I think he means the one with Fassbender.
Fassbender, yeah. It's the good one. Where Steve Jobs is an absolute bastard in it.
Yeah, because one was Steve Jobs and one was Jobs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the Jobs one with Kutcher is not as much of a bastard in it. They didn't dare to go there. So, yeah, watch the Fassbender one.
It just sounds like somewhere you'd apply for something as well.
It really does.
And he finishes off with the Rock Hudson movie Seconds. Utterly incredible, but barely anyone has seen it. I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Nope.
Jamie Kelwick says, Joe Dante's Explorers. Such a classic kids film introduced the world to Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix. The Rocketeer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
that. Tig has dropped in saying, notable mentions for Titanfall 2 and the Batman Telltale games. But I'd like to nominate 2 shooters for consideration. The first is Ghost Recon Wildlands. A surprising entry into the series, it's a terrific drop-in, drop-out cover-based shooter that me and my mates played for a good 2 years between bouts of Battlefield and Call of Duty. Set in Bolivia, you have an almost limitless supply of weapons and vehicles and complete tactical freedom to complete varied multi-objective missions that encourage roles, coordination and teamwork. We probably took it too fucking seriously. Tango down, 10 o'clock. But blimey, we had some fun with that game. The game gets some criticism from passers-by with its white saviour, America fuck yeah appearance, but it's a deeper game that the more you put into it, the more you got out. I mean, to be fair, that's why I didn't play it, because it did look very America fuck yeah.
I played it. I like it.
I loved.
Was that the one with John Bernthal in the
yes.
in the adverts?
I think so. Maybe it's the one where you could fight Predator on it.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
No. Yes, as a DLC. Yes, you're right.
That sounds.
It's Sam Fisher's in it.
Oh, fuck's sake. The second is my favourite game in the Far Cry series, Far Cry 2. Ubisoft's first original and best entry. It bought the license from Crytek, who made the first notoriously difficult but a stunning first game. Far Cry 2 is a brilliant open world with much maligned mechanics. From the very beginning, the game kicks you in the ghoulies with a bout of malaria that requires you to source regular medication.
Yeah.
You need to do quests for a local church to stay alive. And a weapon degrading mechanic that would often mean your rifle misfiring and jamming up in the middle of a firefight.
Yeah.
But while Far Cry 2 could be punishing and frustrating, it also had a truly stunning open world set in the African savannah, superb combat with genuine tactical freedom, and a brilliant fire system that spread like wildfire. Far Cry 2 is an underrated masterpiece that deserves more credit than its more formulaic successors, and I commend it to the pod for consideration. Far Cry 2 is great.
I love Far Cry 2, but I prefer 4, but both of them could change, which is my favourite. Anyone, I still think Far Cry 2 looks brilliant. It still looks good. To say it's like 360 gen, I think it's, Far Cry 2's good. Play it.
Yeah. The We Needed Roads podcast has said a book by Nicholas Eames, Kings of the Wild. It's a very funny fantasy book about a team of over-the-hill mercenaries. Loads of classic rock references, and Eames treats his mercs like rock stars. I've got this book in my to-read pile already. My mother lent it to us about 2 years ago, and books keep getting put on top of it. But I do intend to read it. Yes, books. I'm a Geordie. I say book.
We'll never get tired of it.
I'll never understand what he's saying.
All right, geezer, calm down.
Alright, I'm Biggie.
This
This week on Modern Escapism.
Who's talking there? That's one of them,
I
is it?
couldn't tell.
No.
It was me.
My name's Stig, blah, blah, wrestling, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my god.
I mean, if my voice was that high, it might work. But...
Listen back, my friend.
I know
listen
people
back.
didn't see that because you listened to it. It was his arms as well then. He was like Kermit the Frog when he's like, yeah!
Hey, here at Modern Escapism, Biggie, we don't discriminate on what media we talk about. So you pipe down. I've got to listen to you lot banging on about Dark Souls and Final Fantasy, you know.
That's totally fair.
Guilty.
Okay, so let's stop touching nerves, and we'll go in what Natalie said. Most underrated, Gex Deep Cover Gecko.
No, it's
Now,
shite.
I don't remember that. I remember the game, but I don't remember if it's any good or not.
so this one's going to be difficult for me because she's using young people language. That game was bussing.
What?
Buzzing.
Buzzing?
Oh, but bussing is what it says
Have
here.
you Googled it? What does bussing mean? Let me have a look.
I'll find out. Hang on.
Come on. We're all in his
Bussing.
30s and one of us is in the
None of us know.
40s.
Is it with a G?
Yeah, with a G on the end.
Bussing.
Bussing.
She could have said buzzing, but yeah, it's
What does
To
bussing?
describe something that's good, usually used in saying if food is bad or not, actually it means the food is great. Bussing. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
That's well-peng. That's a word apparently kids use.
Sure.
Peng.
Yeah. Peng, I know Peng.
That game was bussing, and no one I knew in school played it on their PS1. It had everything. A busty broad in need, undercover costumes, boss fights, and it was so funny. Played the bejesus out of it. Underrated.
I know, I fucking hate all the Gex. I mean, the crap. And I've played them all and finished them all, I can actually say it. But to be honest, when I had a PS1, it's like, oh, my nan's been to town, she's got me a game. Oh, I saw this for $5, Gex. Or Jersey Devil. Remember Jersey Devil on PS1?
Jersey Devil was amazing.
It worked. Shit.
Wasn't it like Crash Bandicoot?
Crash Bandicoot
Aren't they
were
all
good.
supposed to be the same thing, though, right? These are all the same kind of games.
Similar.
No, kind of like 3D open level exploration.
Yeah,
kind
they were
of
more like
things.
Croc and Spyro, weren't they? Than Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
It's shite.
Jersey Devil was great, man. Underrated. In fact.
No, it weren't.
Ray has come in saying, "Hi, Modern Escapism. When talking about the greatest Pixar creation, Inside Out is not likely to be a candidate. But for me, this film deserves more." Now, if I start crying throughout any of this, it's just because I've remembered that one scene.
I know which scene you
this film
mean.
got
Yeah.
me too.
Oh, yeah.
Unclear from when our pursuit for happiness morphed into a theatre audition. In this contest, whoever sounds happy the most and acts happy the most wins the role of a strong, independent person. As a result, the negative emotions, especially sadness, are deemed bad and harmful. Something should be suppressed, stifled, or be ashamed for. However, if sadness is stifled, happiness will also become forced. And forced happiness would not be an expression of genuine joy, but a performance to mask the real pain. He said, I'm in this email and I don't like it. So what the film is trying to tell us with a light-hearted, gentle but firm voice is that it's fine to feel negative, and certainly there is no shame in expressing it and looking for help and understanding. Inside Out is a movie able to grow up with its audience, because they gain more experience on the feeling and emotion. The story and the message behind it will keep giving new perspectives. Perhaps after these years, it's time for the film to receive its proper appreciation, like how Joy learned to appreciate that dash of blue on the core memory.
Oh, God. Do you know?
Fuck me, he's good.
He's good. That film.
I thought about Bing Bong. I can't.
Oh, no.
That's not even the saddest scene for me. My saddest scene is when, is it Riley, the little kid in it?
Yeah.
She's at the dinner table and it just harkens back to like my childhood when there was a broken marriage in my house and they're arguing and stuff. Oh, it fucking hit me that.
The hockey thing when she's trying to trial for the hockey team or something, that just got me. Man. It's weird that the film impacts everybody differently.
Bing Bong, yeah. Fuck me. Jesus Christ.
Nah. Couldn't handle that. Last up, we've got Best Boy Angry Kurt. Birthday Boy Angry Kurt.
It's his birthday. Have I missed Kurt's birthday?
Happy birthday, buddy.
Yesterday while you were out getting pissed.
Sorry, Kurt. I invited everybody.
Best birthday, boy.
Yes.
He's earned his
Says,
title back.
Crew. For games, Gears Tactics and Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yes, brother. Love Kingdom
I know
Battle.
XCOM 2 is considered to be the best turn-based strategy tactics game in the genre, but for me, it's these two games. I like how they take the XCOM formula and simplify it so it doesn't have the base building stuff, and I like how it gives you a consistent crew of characters to make up your squad.
Yes,
he really fucking hates the base building. Me too.
I did too.
Both look gorgeous in their own way, far better than XCOM, which is a little janky. Ooh, he's coming in hard for XCOM.
XCOM's incredible.
I also thought the boss battles in each game were tremendous fun.
Yeah.
For me, Mario and Rabbids is my favourite Switch exclusive. Mario and Rabbids is such a fucking weird game to just exist.
I adore it.
I love it. It's great.
I fucking think it's incredible.
It says, and the same for Gears Tactics on the Xbox. I can't wait for the Rabbids sequel next year, and I hope we get a Gears Tactics sequel too.
I've played about an hour of Gears Tactics, and there was nothing wrong with it at all. I don't know why I stopped playing it. It's just one of them. Sometimes it happens, doesn't it?
It's because your ADHD light blinked on and you went to something else.
Game Pass!
Game Pass is the worst thing for a person like you, isn't it?
It's terrible.
Just you got a Series S and you kind of fill it up with too many
and then
games.
I get fucking codes from place. I'm like, games!
Well, you're a gamer, so it's fine.
I'm not a gamer.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell, this podcast's gone right off the rails, isn't it? He finishes off with, I'll be quick with my movie and TV suggestions. For movie, it's Fighting With My Family, a comedy drama which I think anyone can enjoy, even if you have zero interest in wrestling.
I think it was shit.
I loved it.
Disagree, but that's because I'm into wrestling, and so I nitpick it too much.
My favourite bit was when The Rock was in it.
Who had nothing to do with Paige's career whatsoever.
Yeah, but The Rock, though.
Who had a fight with Vince Vaughn's character that never happened. I'm sorry, it's a really good film in certain aspects, but and I can get what he means, but if you don't enjoy wrestling, you would enjoy it more, but when you know what happened, it's a bit like...
Is it one for the casuals rather than one for the wrestling fans?
Yes, I think so.
Fair enough. Then for TV shows, it's Mindhunter. One of the best drama thrillers ever, in my opinion, with the expert crafter David Fincher. I really hope Netflix bring it back. Wasn't there rumblings on another season for that?
Yeah, I agree with him on that.
Mindhunter's
that
brilliant.
First episode of Mindhunter's one of the best first episodes of telly I've watched in years.
Yeah. They can't let it end on that. I know a lot of shows get canned, but they've been building this up.
It won't get canned. There'll be another one.
To season 2. It's just...
Yeah, they'll do another.
Don't cancel.
They might even do a film or something, like an hour and a half or 2 hour special or something. They'll do something with it, I reckon.
But yeah, that's everything in the mailbag.
And now the sack is empty. Let us go to the socials and a sneak preview of what we'll be doing next week.
Oh, exciting. Yes, you can find us on Twitter at Modern Escapism. On there, you'll find a link to all of our episodes and all of our socials. You can join us on Discord. We have an absolutely wonderful community. We always say it, but you are all absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us, and really, really supportive place as well. I've seen some really nice messages. We do have a mental health section as well, and I've seen such support just reading it this week as well. Like something Biggie you said to one of my friends is just it was really moving. So thank you for that.
Sage like wisdom. That's what it was.
All
exactly.
True, all true.
If you've got any comments, you can either tweet us or email us at modernescapismpod@gmail.com. If you enjoy playthroughs, we've mentioned it before with Gadget's playthrough of Prey. You can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/modernescapism. We have a fairly regular schedule that we try to keep to. Saturday, Oodles, what do you have for
I
us?
got a fucking glow.
We'll move on then. Thanks for that, friend.
Something.
Cheers, buddy.
Is there a chance of a noodle stream?
I'm not going out for a while, so yeah. Tell me what you want to see me play. I'm thinking Half-Life 2. Yeah, I'm thinking Half-Life. I paid for it anyway, so may as well use it. May as well play it.
Mondays we've got Biggie Dies. Biggie's carrying on his playthrough of Dark Souls if he doesn't lose his own soul trying to beat the section that he's currently on.
I will apologise in advance. I won't be on tomorrow because it's bank holiday and I'm out.
They won't know that.
So
that'll have happened in past.
I know, but I'm apologising now for anyone who may want to see what's happening. It will be back
Biggie, this
following Monday.
Time is fleeting.
This comes out on Thursday. So
I know, but I'm just saying in advance.
In
wonders what happened.
Not in advance.
Retrospect.
Retrospect.
Sorry for not being on, he says. Wednesday, we've got Gadget and Stig who are playing.
Yes, we're doing Sea of Thieves. We will have done Sea of Thieves, and we're going to be doing more Sea of Thieves.
What are you going to do when you run out of Sea of Thieves?
More Sea of Thieves.
It's Big Sea.
More Sea of Thieves.
It's a big ocean.
Don't have to just do A Pirate's Life. We can do other stuff on it. But I'm sure we'll find a co-op game.
You two need to do a Lego game. I'd love to watch you two do a Lego game.
Play Lego games.
They're so good.
Wait for the new one, the Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think you two doing a Lego game would be hilarious to watch. Because I can imagine Stig wanting to pick up every little peg and Gadget like, come on, let's get on with the story.
I've played Lego games. I just get bored with them. It's like really easy.
Marvel superheroes.
So good. Marvel superheroes is
to be fair, Lego Marvel superheroes is great.
It's really good.
There's still a really sick, twisted, horrible part of me that wants to do Resident Evil 5, but it's so bad.
Ooh.
And speaking of scary streams, Thursday we've got Candy's Creature Feature, which is my horror stream, and at the moment I'm playing Outlast. I started it last Thursday.
I haven't watched it yet. How far did you get?
I got to the
did the boiler and all that
section.
Yeah, she did the boiler.
Have you seen a willy yet?
I saw the wangers, yeah.
Here we go.
That was a highlight.
Yeah.
Game gave her the willies.
And then you need to play Outlast 2.
Yeah,
There's even more willies in Outlast 2. There's more.
Yeah, I'm going to play. I think I'm going to play Soma next, and then I might go back to Outlast 2. But we'll see. See how much I enjoyed the first one. All of our playthroughs get uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch it in your own time. Just do a search for Modern Escapism in the channels section. And we've already spoken about our Patreon as well. So if you do like our content, want to give us some more support, please think about donating to our Patreon. We've got £5 for Modern Escapees, £5 for Scorched Sheep, and £7.50 for the Biggie bundle.
Yeah, don't waste your money on charities. Just give it to us.
We are a charity.
It's getting that way.
I mean, you'll have had Too Fast, Too Curious episode 3 this week. We did Tokyo.
You can't even say it, can you? We're crying.
Oh, God, that film.
I love it.
See, I'm saving your Too Fast because I want to actually watch along because I haven't seen a lot of them.
I love Tokyo.
It's not bad. I've not seen it since it came out. Literally watched it in a bar in Iron Apple on a dodgy screen. Like, someone had got a dodgy copy. And just
I think that's how it's supposed to be watched.
When it was hungover. That's the only time I've ever seen it. So I remember thinking it was okay compared to the second one.
It's supposed to be watched in back of a skyline that's been pimped out by Exhibit.
Gadget has other thoughts.
Anyway, next week's subject is worst McGuffins.
McGuffins.
Oh, we've all brilliantly this episode.
Not McGuffins. It's McGuffins.
McGuffins.
There's still time.
Somebody else, please explain what that is. Gadget.
The worst plot points, the worst moments of writers kind of writing characters out of a situation, the worst plot holes, plot contrivances, just random shite bit of writing
the worst
in a
burger
film,
from
TV show,
McDonald's
game.
and McGuffin.
McGuffin, not McGuffin.
or McMuffin. God.
Oh, God.
What a fucking shit show this episode's been.
Do you know, I have to admit, I didn't even know what it really meant, so.
And for those who've loved this shit show, should we go on to the people that pay for extra?
Yeah, so everyone that doesn't pay you, if you're a tight bastard, we appreciate you, but you're going to miss out on some epic content round the back where we give each other handies and we just have a great time. So,
and I'm almost afraid to say it, but please leave us a 5-star review wherever you can.
Absolutely. So, for everyone that hasn't paid,
apparently we're underrated.
We'll see you all next time, and I will have slept by then, hopefully. And it will be a more cohesive structure, and we'll all be able to speak. Because I don't know why, but everyone else has been terrible today as well.
I've been fine.
You're always fine, you professional bastard.
Shit by osmosis.
I've been drinking since midday, and I'm fine.
Excellent. So yes, for everyone else, good night and ta-ta.
The cats have just done something. I'll be right back.
I heard a crash. That sounded threatening.
I can smell it from here, whatever they've done. I'll just have another power nap.
It would appear that Major's just commando ruled into his litter tray.